for that spot at punter. I think Hackney might have just won that.
Yeah, looks like it. Maybe need a couple more kicks like that.
Yes.
So it's Keenan Walker in the backfield, lined up with the back behind him, handoff up the middle, and he's going to be brought down by who else but the senior linebacker, Devin Monahan. Good to see him back on the field. Nice tackle for the senior after a gain of, looks to be about 4 yards perhaps. It's going to bring up gain of 3, pardon. Second and 7 upcoming at the 10-minute mark. Waller, again, handoff to his right. Nice cut there from number 13, Dante Lee, the junior running back, as a first down for the Lancers. A gain of, looks to be about 9 yards on the play. It's going to be 1st and 10 Belleville East from about the 27-yard line.
And we can't say it enough about Monahan. The first 2 plays, and he's there both times with the tackle.
Absolutely. Offset shotgun package for the Lancers. A handoff to the right. It's going to be brought down. Number 12 in the blue and gold, Aiden Goss, the junior, in on the tackle. Monahan, again, also in on the play as he tends to be. 2nd and 7 upcoming after the gain of 3 for the Lancers. They've got 2 men on the near side of the screen, 1 up top. Again, the offset shotgun package. Pass, fake, and he's got a man, number 24. That's going to be a touchdown for Belleville East, Rayshon Spires, the junior wide receiver, gets a touchdown for Belleville East early. My goodness. 76 yards for the touchdown. Waller finds, pardon me, I had the wrong number. I'm looking at the wrong person. That's Freddie Waller. Goodness gracious me. Keenan Waller to Freddie Waller, and it's 6-0 Belleville East.
And unfortunately on that play, the senior cornerback, Andrew Novi, he bit, and he got burned deep. I mean, he was coming up on the play though, as a positive there, but unfortunately was burnt deep.
It's a simple slant up the middle. The extra point is good for the Lancers. It's 7-0 here at the 9:07 mark. And you're right, it was the senior that bit on the play action. It was well executed there from Keenan Waller, but this is maybe a first for this Panther team. They really hadn't given up too many big plays, and certainly not a good thing, for the Panthers to be trailing. But I mean, this isn't really a problem that's been indicative of their season, and maybe this is just a fluke play for the defense.
And it was a great offensive play call there. I mean, if the Panthers stay put, they're going to stop the slant right there. I mean,
number 71, Tony Fernandez, the kicker for the Lancers, getting ready to boot it for the 2nd time this evening. Last kick was returned by Chris Smith.
The last offensive drive, it looked promising at the start, and then you had the fumble, and then you just lost the momentum early.
The drop pass from Ronnie Anthony there on the curl route, and absolutely just a couple of missed opportunities, and of course Belleville East makes them pay. The kick is low, it squibs, bounces at about the 30-yard line. It's going to be picked up by Flores, who's got a little bit of space to run, and is going to be carrying the pile to the 43-yard line. Really excellent return there on the squib kick from the junior running back, Jacob Flores. May have lost the starting job to Willow Zuma, but he still knows how to make an impact here on the kick return.
Yeah, and it looks like as if we're going to start this drive near where they ended the last drive.
Absolutely. They got about 3 yards of better field position on this one than what they had on the last drive when it stalled at the 40. Flores earned himself some snaps with the first team on that return. Is set up to the left of the quarterback, Christian Curtis. You've got Smith. Looks to be Novi along the top. Smith in motion, fake handoff to him as Curtis does a good job spinning for the extra yardage on the quarterback keeper. Gain of about 4 yards to the 47-yard line. Nice run on first down from the Panther quarterback.
And I'm waiting to see the Braxton Miller spin move from Christian Curtis coming up here. I feel like he's always using the spin move, and he's using it well. He's using it very well.
Oh, absolutely. Good athlete is Curtis as he sets up offset with Albritton behind the line. Handoff to Flores up the middle. He's going to have a first down and more. Flores to the outside at the 40 and is brought down from behind by number 7 in white, Tyreek Hurley, the senior safety.
And what a block there by number 16, that Deontay Woods, the senior there on the outside to give Flores some extra yards. You know, blocking downfield is something that doesn't come easy, especially when you're in the open field and you have a cornerback he's got a lot of yards from side to side that he can make a move on you. But great blocking there downfield.
Looks a flag is going to pull this back. So what was a nice first down run for Jacob Flores is going to be second down, and what is that, 3 to go? Unfortunate there. Looked probably
Anthony over here with a lot of room.
absolutely. Maybe that crow route is a little easier to hit there. They don't pick it up, and Osuma is going to be stood up at the goal line. Falls forward, gains maybe a yard. Number 5, Xavier Medina, the junior linebacker, in on the tackle for Belleville East. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 from the Belleville East 49. First play the Panthers will take inside Lancer territory. We're going to have Ronnie Anthony on the bottom of the screen. Chris Smith look to the lineup at the top alongside, well, I can't tell if that's Deontay Woods, if that's Andrew Novi from here, but All-Britain in the backfield in front of Ozuma, in motion to his right. Curtis gets the snap, a little bit of a jump from the line. He goes to his left and has a little bit of room to run, makes a man miss with a head fake. Is brought down, at the 47-yard line. The ball did come out at the end.
Or was he down?
It looks like they're going to rule that he was down by contact.
And I think that's the right call.
I think so, too. The ball came out. Belleville East jumped on it, looked to have even recovered it. They're going to be nothing if not close to the first down. They're going to call for the change to get a measurement. It looks...
It's going to be very close. It's hard to tell from up here, but
it's hard to tell from up here, and that looks like a tough spot as well. Maybe they're just giving him credit where the ball went down on the turf.
And now if they are short, I see them going for it here.
I agree. I would too. You've got Osuma. You've got even Flores, powerful backs that can get you at the very least a couple inches. It doesn't look like they're going to need it. That's a first down for O'Fallon, and barely. I mean barely. They got just the nose of the football across. But a first down is a first down, and this offense is going to take it here with 7:17 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Belleville East the score. It was a 76-yard touchdown pass from Waller to Waller. Keenan Waller found number 24, Freddie Waller III, on a slant right across the middle, and that's how Belleville East got on the board. Now it's Flores in the backfield alongside Curtis. It's Anthony at the bottom of the screen, Smith in the slot, and it looks to be Novi at the top. Nice little fake there from Ronnie Anthony, just past his fingertips. Oh boy, that was 6. He had his man on the curl fake. Curtis had him all the way, and I'll tell you what, they were working on that pass at the beginning of the game, all pregame, and every time it was Ronnie Anthony running that route, that pass was just a little overthrown. It bounced off his fingertips just like that, and again, Curtis can't connect with his senior wide receiver for what could have tied the game.
And what a break there for Belleville East. And that's 6 written all over it for the senior wide receiver, Ronnie Anthony. I think we'll see that play later on in the game.
Absolutely. You've got Woods and Smith at the top of the screen, Anthony again at the bottom. Flores behind Curtis, who gets the handoff up the middle, breaks the first round of tackles, and the ball is out on the ground. Signal immediately from the referee. It's going to be a nice gain of just about 6 or 7 yards for the junior running back, Flores.
Flores demonstrates a lot of power. He's not a bigger back such as Mason Hewitt from last season or Osuma. They might be smaller, but they keep their legs moving and they're pretty powerful for how small they are.
No, absolutely. Good low center of gravity on both of them. And his legs just keep on kicking until he gets to the bottom. You saw it there, dragging an East defender for a couple extra feet on the play. Smith in motion to his right, gets the handoff, makes a cut upfield, still on his feet, and he's going to be brought down just shy of the 40-yard line. It looks like it's going to be a stop on 3rd down for this Lancer defense. And Now you might have a question to answer if you're Brandon Joggers. Do you trust your defense to try and stop the Lancers from field position here? And it looks like that's what they're going to do. 4th and 3. Perhaps a hard count here. They're trying to lure the Lancers offside, and that looks like that's what's going on. Joe Speaks barking out the calls from the sidelines for O'Fallon. Smith and Albritton in motion to the near side of the screen. Curtis going back, looks to be maybe lining up for a pooch punt here, getting some extra space. That's absolutely what he's doing. A pooch punt to the corner and a beauty. That's going to kick down to about the 8-yard line, perhaps. Excellent pooch punt there from the junior quarterback, Christian Curtis. How about that little trickery from the Panthers sideline?
And how about the special teams play so far for O'Fallon? I mean, it's been unbelievable to start off the game here. I mean, what a pooch punt there by quarterback Christian Curtis to put Belleville within their own 10-yard line. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better there out of if you're head coach Brandon Joggers from your quarterback.
And I love the play call there. Go out there, get a couple attempts at the hard count, maybe get a first down by the penalty. If you can't do it, you got a quarterback that can kick the ball like that. Absolutely. You got to use him. Great job there by Curtis. And the Lancers set up for their second offensive series. Couldn't have gone any better than their last one, striking from deep. And there's going to be a flag on the field. Tough to tell what it is already, but it looks like it's going to be against Belleville East, perhaps? We'll await the call from the official. 5:36 to go in the game. 7-0 still your score in O'Fallon. Freddie Waller the third with the first down, with the first score of the game, the 76-yard touchdown reception across the middle. Still a long deliberation from the officials here, but Panther defense getting a couple more seconds. It looked like there was some sort of confusion from this defensive unit on the field. Perhaps they're picking up the flag now. It's very difficult to see what it was. Oh, it's going to be a false start against Belleville East. They're going to go half the distance to the goal, I would imagine, inside the 10-yard line, and that's going to set up, what I would imagine, 1st and 14? Oh, I'm sorry, there was another penalty against O'Fallon that offset, apparently. I haven't seen that happen with a false start before. So it's 1st and 10 from the 8. 5:36 to go, and again, Waller lined up in the backfield. It's a man in motion. That's Freddie Waller. He gets the jet sweep going to his left. He's got some blockers in front and a good piece of running from Waller. He's still on his feet at the 37-yard line. He is hit and brought down at the 39-yard line. My goodness. Freddie Waller III having a day already.
And what great blocking on the outside. We were just talking about blocking from the O'Fallon receivers, but what they did there, they were near the right hash mark, and they used the speed of Waller to set him up with a lot of room on the left side of the field there for Belleville.
Waller handed to Waller, and it's good for a big gain for the Lancers. 5:24 to go. Man in motion again is Waller. They fake the handoff to him. This time they give it off to number 13 in white. That's Dante Lee, the junior running back. He's going to be brought down 2 yards short of a first down. Gain of 8, perhaps, on first down. Nice run there for the junior in the blue and white. Sorry, pardon me. Gain of 6 on the run.
And just like that, within 2 plays, you got the Lancers near midfield here.
Winning the field position battle in terms of flipping the field on this drive at the very least. And 4:49 mark. Waller again in motion. Again flipped it off, this time going to the right. And this time Monahan there to blow it up. A flag comes in late, but it's Monahan and Johnson in to blow that play up in the backfield. It's a loss of 2 on the play, but again, a flag, so we will see. It looks to be a hold against Belleville East. So that's going to move him back.
And what we saw there, that they anticipated the jet sweep better. What defenders want to do when there's a jet sweep, they want to get to the outside and set the edge and force that runner to go back inside where all the action is and where more of your teammates are to make the play.
Absolutely. Shift the field. Create spacing matchups for your offense and the guys with the ball in your hand. When you're as dynamic as Freddie Waller has shown himself to be tonight, that's a dangerous, dangerous recipe for the Lancers against the Panthers. So Waller and, again, the running back Dante Lee in the backfield in the shotgun, talking to number 8, to Carlos Johnson, the senior wideout on the bottom of your screen. 3 wide at the top, 1 at the bottom, offset wide receiver set. Quick pass from Waller to Waller is just out of the reach of the elder brother. which is, of course, Freddie the senior. So with 4:18 to go, it's going to bring up 3rd and 15 from the Belleville East 34. What are you looking for from the Panther defense on this next play, Colton?
Keep it underneath and don't let anything get over the top of you here is what they need to do.
I would agree. Oh, man. Blown terribly offsides there is Freddie Waller, who jumped 2 or 3 steps in the Panther territory. A false start again. And what looked to be a promising drive for this Belleville East Lancers team is turned into a 3rd and 20 from the 29.
And what they're doing there is as O'Fallon, they're not lining up man-to-man with the inside receiver. And what Belleville thinks is they're going to have a wide-open man going on a seam route. But as you see, senior linebacker Devin Monahan right there just baiting that ball and waiting for it to come his way.
We were talking before the game about how important Monahan is to the team, and we're going to see it right here. Pressure there on Waller, and Monahan in again on the tackle. Who else but the senior number 42 to blow up the play and force 4th down. Great stand here, aided by a pair of penalties. Actually, I guess a trio of penalties against the Lancers in this case. But again, Devin Monahan leading the charge for this Panther defense alongside fellow linebacker Evan Carney, number 45 in the blue and gold. That's going to set up another Belleville East punt.
And I've already got Monahan with 4 solo tackles here in the first quarter. 4 solo tackles. Shows how important he is to that O'Fallon defense.
What a special player. Snap is high. They got some time to block it. They're not going to get to it. Punt is going to drop about the 50, and it's muffed by Novi. Belleville East recovers it. At the 50-yard line, Novi can't hold on. It bounced out of his hands, and it's going to be Belleville East ball 1st and 10 from the 50.
And unfortunately, there for Novi, his head started to move up as he was looking for defenders that were near him, and unfortunately it bounced off of his chest and onto the ground. Not what you want if you're O'Fallon right there. After a pretty good defensive stand, although Belleville did have some penalties.
So this Panther defense that made a big stop on 3rd down, right back on the field after the turnover. My goodness. Another miscue for the Panthers. And as we were talking about the play of the special teams, they go ahead and turn the ball over there. A senior making a costly mistake. Belleville East ball, 3 men in the backfield. Waller fakes the handoff. He's got room to run to his left. He gets past Riggs on the outside, hit by Austin Johnson and Evan Carney, who picked up the ball, but it looked like the ball was lost on the ground. It's going to be 1st and 10, Belleville East from the 34-yard line of O'Fallon. 1st down, nice run there from number 14, the quarterback, Keenan Waller. 3:13 to go in the first quarter. Belleville East still leads 7-0. And Waller in the backfield hands it up off the middle. He's got plenty of space, just about to a 1st down. It's going to be close if he didn't get it. That's number 13, Dante Lee. Aiden Goss in on the tackle. It's going to be 2nd and 1 after the gain of 9 from the junior running back in white. Again, Waller finds him again. It's going to be a 1st down inside the 20 for Belleville East. They're going to spot him. It's going to be in between the 19 and 18-yard line. First trip to the red zone for the Lancers.
We're seeing a lot of carries for Dante Lee. He's a big back to take down. He weighs 200 pounds. So I mean that's a load coming through the line.
Especially against this younger O'Fallon team. Looks a lot like Derrick Henry did during his days at Alabama with that tremendous size.
Exactly.
Certainly used it to his advantage on those last couple of runs. And they're going to go to the air this time. Waller goes up, and it's intercepted in the end zone. Aeneas Riggs, number 4, makes the play, steps in front of an underthrown ball to the end zone, and it's an interception and a big turn of events here late in the first quarter.
What a big play there by Aeneas Riggs. And last week we saw a different quarterback there. I think they might have switched sides, and the Belleville quarterback there, it was almost like he had a pre-read. He knew he was throwing the ball there, and what a tremendous play to get these Panthers the ball back with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. What a play.
Waller tried finding Waller on the right side of the end zone, and when you've got a quarterback so in sync with his wide receiver, it's almost always a good thing. And I say almost because of that play. You know what he's trying to do. You want to get him the ball so badly that maybe you telegraph it a little too badly. And just as we saw against Collinsville last week, it was Aeneas Riggs and it was Austin Johnson in coverage. And when both of them seemed to bracket the receiver properly, good things happened for the Panthers. 1st and 10 for O'Fallon, 2:16 to go. It's going to be Flores lined up to the right of Curtis, Albritton in motion to the top of your screen. It's going to be a passing play. Curtis goes to his right, going deep. He's got Smith. It's underthrown, hit as the ball hit Smith. Incomplete. Smith is down at the 40. Looks just to be frustrated. It's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 20. Man, that ball hit him in the hands, but that's a tough catch for just about anybody in the world to make. And
yeah, and that was a good play by the defender there, Aubrey Parker there for Belleville. I mean, he was in the right position and made a good play. But also, a very good throw there by Christian Curtis on the run.
Absolutely. Moving to his right. Good job there from the junior quarterback. Flores again lined up behind him. He's got 2 receivers at the top of the screen. Handoff to Flores. Breaks through an arm tackle to about the 29-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 9 yards on 2nd down. Should bring up 3rd and short just inside of 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Still 7-0 Belleville East.
A little bit of a hurry-up offense here,
Yeah.
up-tempo from O'Fallon.
Well, both of these defenses really had short breaks on the sideline. Flores is going to find just enough room for a 1st down, stretches for an extra yard. I don't think that's going to go across. They're going to spot him between the 32 and 33-yard lines. It's going to be good for a 1st down for O'Fallon at the 140 mark. Good job there from Flores finding just enough space on 3rd down.
Yeah, and now we have running back Willow Suma in here, and the offense. There was a good run there by Flores, but they're managing to move the ball. But it just seems as if there's costly mistakes.
I agree, and it's the muff from Novi really ended up not hurting as Ozumi gets the handoff on the option and is brought down. Oh boy, number 11 in white, Dondi Fuller loses his helmet on the play. Seems frustrated that no flag was called against number 78 in the blue and gold. Number 78, pardon me, is Ryan Sedlacek, the senior lineman.
And I think he was blocking until the whistle.
I agree. I think he was just maybe frustrated because he had lost his helmet. And, as people tend to get, you get a little snippy in the game, and that looks to be what that was. No gain on the run for Osuma. 2nd and 10 upcoming. Curtis has Smith across the middle of the field. Can't break an arm tackle. It's going to be brought down just about the 43, maybe about the 33-yard line or 32-yard line perhaps. It's going to be 3rd down and short again. Looks to be just a yard shy of the 1st down. 53 seconds to go in the quarter.
Fallon really trying to open up the passing game here early in the quarter.
Keep these receivers involved. You've got Anthony and Smith stacked to the bottom of your screen. Handoff goes to Ozuma, who breaks across the middle and gets a Panther 1st down maybe about the 45-yard line. That's where they're going to spot it. So with 44.9 to go in the 1st, the sophomore Ozuma finds enough space and gets another Panther 1st down.
And good work there by the O'Fallon coaching staff. I like how they stacked Ronald Anthony and Smith there, because there's 2 defenders right there. And they're away from being in the box and stopping Ozuma. It's a good play call there by O'Fallon.
You see the Panthers setting up in this pretty much a single back shotgun set. Flores, nice block on the outside. Curtis gets away from some pressure. Is going to be eaten up about the 37-yard line, perhaps the 36-yard line. It looked like he had some options to throw the ball there. Just kind of hung onto the ball as to not lose the fumble and kind of accepting his fate on 1st down. So it's going to be 2nd and 17, and they're probably going to let this clock tick to the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, and on that play, if you're Christian Curtis, you sense the pressure coming from the backside, and you weigh the options of throwing it away and saving yourself about 8 yards there on the loss, or you take the sack and then you're back where you don't want to be.
A little bit of indecisiveness. That play just took an awfully long time to develop as well. East, it brought plenty of pressure, and when you're running a pass play in the face of a good pass rush, you probably want a little bit of a quicker route. There were some corner out routes there that hadn't really had enough time to develop. As you see there, Jacob Flores did a nice job picking up the block there on the outside at the bottom of the screen.
And luckily, a good thing about quarterback Christian Curtis here is his ability to move around in the pocket, and when he senses pressure, he does a pretty good job of getting out of the pocket. And another thing is the running back Jacob Flores and Will Osuma. I've been watching them closely here in the first quarter. They do a very good job of pass blocking for Christian Curtis in the backfield. Obviously, his blind side is to his left as he's right-handed, and a lot of times in their passing play, you see Flores and Osuma lined up on the left to cover his blind side for him.
And we did see some plays they were running in the practice before this game. They had Flores kind of in the slot, maybe trying to get this rushing attack and these really, really gifted athletes some space to do something with the ball in the passing attack. And that'd be, another versatile part of this Panther offense that they can add it successfully. So it's going to be 2nd and 17. They haven't run a play here in the quarter. There's going to be a motion to reset the game clock back to 12 minutes. 3 seconds ticked off. It sits at 11:57. Will be put back and corrected to 12 minutes, and there we go. You got Flores and Curtis again in the backfield. You've got Ronnie Anthony and Chris Smith at the bottom of the screen, lined up as wide receivers. At the top of it is number 16, Deontay Woods. And Flores in the backfield to the left of Curtis, who has a 3-step drop. Has a man in Smith up the middle of the field. He drops it. Incomplete pass. Smith is very, very frustrated with himself there on the turf. Had a first down, had easily enough yardage to move the chains there on 2nd and long.
And if he breaks that tackle right there, I think he's probably going to be in the end zone.
And that may have been part of the issue, too, more focused on breaking the tackle than he was, maintaining possession of the ball. And as it stands, it's going to be 3rd and 17 at the 11:53 mark.
And a great pass there by Curtis.
It was.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. It was, absolutely. Well thrown ball from the Panther quarterback. Flushed out of the pocket to his right, has some time to throw it deep downfield. It's going to be to Albritton, who makes a spectacular catch at about the 29-yard line. Tumbling over his head is the senior tight end, Matthew Albritton, 2-sport star, also a star with the O'Fallon baseball team, and a big, big 3rd and long conversion for this O'Fallon Panther team.
And another a great job by Christian Curtis, looking like Aaron Rodgers there,
Yeah.
breaking tackles and giving himself some space. What a throw for throwing on your back leg there, and obviously a great catch there by
The whole time it was in the air, I thought that was just slightly overthrown to Albritton, but great athletic jump from the tight end, and that's a wide receiver catch right there as Osuma gets the handoff to his right, carrying a tackler for extra yardage. He's going to be taken down about the 24-yard line, a gain of about 5 on first down. Nice job there from a sophomore back who is really emerging into a nice weapon for this Panther offense.
And I can't say it enough. You wouldn't look at the running backs and expect a lot of power from them, but they keep their legs moving, and they know how to break tackles. And that's the thing. Obviously, Osuma has moves, and Flores definitely has moves as well, but when you can carry guys on your back and be safe with the football, why not do it?
Oh, absolutely. I remember watching, this is maybe a different comparison being, quarterback to running back, but in Ohio State in the national championship game against Oregon a couple years ago, so Osuma, again to the middle, gets maybe a first down. Looks like they're going to give it to him by about a foot. Nice job there again by the sophomore. But as I was saying, Cardell Jones in the national championship game against Oregon a few years ago for the Buckeyes, it just seemed like the defense was powerless to stop him because they needed 2 or 3 guys every single time. You can't solo tackle him. And that's pretty much been the case with Flores and Osuma tonight, is you need to commit multiple tacklers to the ball carrier, and that really puts a lot of pressure on the pass attack in something like a play-action situation.
And that's a perfect way of saying it and comparing it there, Sam.
3rd down and 1. Pardon, they did not move the chains for him. That should get it done. It's Osuma.
And I wish I was keeping a stat here of how many 3rd down conversions O'Fallon has had. I mean, you got a 3rd down and 3. They're going to run the ball,
yeah.
and so far in this game, it looks like they're going to move the chains every time.
If not for Perhaps that Andrew Novi muffed punt. We're maybe talking about a tie game with the Panthers trying to take the lead. This offense has played well. They've done a good job. And Flores up the middle. He can't get wrapped up to the end zone. He stretches. Panther touchdown. Jacob Flores, 16 yards out. The junior running back finds pay dirt, and it's 7-6.
Once again, there you are. We're talking about power earlier from these running backs. What a run by Flores up the middle, breaking a tackle and shredding defenders off of him. And the O'Fallon offense there looked unstoppable down the field.
Absolutely, that rushing attack, probably the best we've seen it all season long throughout the course of an entire drive. Big third and long conversion. There's an injured Lancer down on the field. Can't really see who it is. And also worth noting on the injury front, number 76, Ryan Ritchie, a sophomore lineman for the Panthers, getting checked out on the training table. To tell what it is, maybe something to his nose, but he's getting some medical attention as well. Always hate seeing someone get hurt in one of these games. You know, it's part of the sport, but you hate to see it every time.
And unfortunately, Sam, I think every game we call, we see something like this. Obviously, this wasn't as it didn't look as severe as what we have seen for O'Fallon's. But you mentioned Devin Monahan and then
Carlos Pickens.
Yes. They were down for some time.
They were, absolutely. The injured Lancer was number 40, Raekwon Ramsey, the junior linebacker, was down. Ended up walking off the field under his own power with a little bit of help. So always a good sign to see somebody get off on their feet. So it's going to be number 11, Brooks Hackney, in to get the extra point attempt. This is an area the Panthers have struggled in this season. Kicking is always certainly an underratedly difficult part of this game. Certainly at the high school level, you tend to see a difficult distribution of kicking talent. Hackney is certainly one of the better ones. The kick is good through the uprights. We've got a tie game with 10:47 to go in the half. Panthers 7, Lancers 7, from the Panther Athletic Complex.
And from my time covering O'Fallon, it seems as if they've been pretty blessed with kickers. I know they had Tucker McCann.
Absolutely.
The year before I started here, and then Brooks Hackney is probably one of the best kickers in the conference.
Going back even further than that, you go to Austin Barnes, the great O'Fallon punter now at Eastern Carolina. This is a preseason watch list for the Ray Guy Award for the nation's top punter. Started his collegiate career at Eastern Michigan University. Kicked there for a number of years. Actually, I believe he had something like a 79-yard punt in Death Valley against LSU his freshman season. Really special talent. Barnes was a great ambassador for this Panther program. He's making waves in Conference USA now for the Pirates of Eastern Carolina. As you said, Tucker McCann as well at Missouri, kicking in the SEC. Doesn't really get too much bigger a stage in college football than that.
And did he hit a 50-yard field goal in a live game, or was that in the?
McCann hit for those of you wondering at home, does have. I believe it's just the Illinois high school record, but it may be the national record for the longest made field goal in a game. It happened a couple of years ago at a game here in O'Fallon, and I believe it was. I may have even been a 60-yard punt. I don't necessarily. I'll have to double check the numbers when we can get a break here, but yeah, Tucker McCann had one of the most impressive kicks I've ever seen from a high school kicker. It's going to be a place kick there from Hackney, fair caught at about the 32-yard line. From number 29 from Belleville East, it's going to be Johanse Flair, sophomore defensive back.
And I think he regretted his decision there as he saw that he had some room.
Yeah.
But what O'Fallon was trying to do there was get their men downfield as soon as possible so that there wouldn't be much of a return there. Although Belleville does have the ball starting on the 32-yard line. But then again, there's a case of being confident in your defense.
And this broadcast being brought to you by the team at the O'Fallon Weekly and the team at OTHStoday.com, the Panther Beat Broadcast Club at O'Fallon Township High School. They do a great job setting us up here in the booth. Handoff there from Waller to Waller is going to be stopped at the yard of scrimmage. Look who it is there. Again on the play, 42, Devin Monahan right there. Alongside number 43 for the Panthers, Max Gibbs. Aeneas Riggs was also in on that play, even from the other side of the field, trying to stop the run. And Waller, a dangerous target for this Lancer offense. It's going to be 2nd and 10 from the Lancer 32-yard line. 2 men in the backfield alongside Waller. The handoff up the middle to number 13. Number 13 again, Dante Lee. He's going to get a gain of, what is that, about 3 yards, perhaps 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd and about 6 yards to go at the 9:50 mark in the half.
And what I'm seeing from up here in the booth is that they're lining up Devin Monahan. You see, there's a lot of open space here for Belleville East to the left, and they're lining him up where they have a lot of space to work.
Trying to be the difference maker on offense. Waller fades back to pass. Steps up and makes a nice completion there to his wide receiver. Looked to be Contavious Alexander, the senior wide receiver. It's going to be a 1st down for Belleville East. A gain of, well, it's tough to tell where they're going to spot that. They're going to give it to him at the Lancer 47-yard line, so it's a gain of about 11 on 3rd and 6. Nice job there from Belleville East. And at the 9.5 mark, they're going to line up 1st and 10 from their own 47. Again, 2 in the backfield alongside Waller. Dante Lee there as well. Fake handoff, and Waller can't find anybody downfield. Goes to his left and has plenty of room to run. Monahan up there to stop it. Trips him up a little bit, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds just about the 32-yard line by number 5, Andrew Noe. Good job there from Monahan to slow him down to get that secondary coverage up to stop him after the 1st down.
And I'm not sure if our viewers saw it on the screen, but number 1 there, Quantavious Alexander, he used a double move there on the outside, and our corner bid on it, and he had him downfield, but it decided to tuck it and carry it. And you know, they could have caught a break there.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I don't think Belleville East is going to be too upset about the end result of this one.
Obviously not.
Lined up with number 2, Nolan Wellinghoff, the junior running back. He's lined up as a fullback, is number 9 with the ball across the middle, and he's going to be brought down just about the 29-yard line. Number 9, Justin Sanders, the senior running back. Nice change of pace from the Lancer offense here. We're inside of 9 minutes to go in the quarter. It's going to be 2nd and 1 from the Panther 24, Panther 25-yard line. Panther 24, pardon. They have lined them up 2nd and very short. Again, in the shotgun is Waller. Number 9, Sanders alongside him with Wellinghoff in front, the fullback. Fake rolling to his left again is Waller. Throws across the middle, has a man. It's a touchdown for Belleville East. Dondi Fuller, pardon me, was that who that was? I can't tell. Number 11, no, number 8, DeCarlos Johnson, the senior wide receiver. It's a touchdown for the Lancers on 2nd and 1 from 24 yards out. Long passing plays really getting the job done for East. 8:25 to go in the half.
And the O'Fallon coaching staff was looking for a holding call there on Belleville East. And
on Evan Carney, absolutely on the outside. I thought it certainly could have been called. The extra point is blocked. It's no good from number 98, Alex Maxim, the freshman kicker. Maxime, perhaps. Block from Max Gibbs on the play.
And another great, I mean, we had the muff punt, but another great play by the special teams of O'Fallon. And if we had to give out an MVP right now, I mean, you know, it's usually an individual player.
Yeah.
I mean, the special teams of O'Fallon has played phenomenal, and with Belleville only being up 13-7, that could be huge going into halftime. If O'Fallon could come up with a score here and then a stop, and then the extra point field goal made, they could potentially go into half with a lead.
No, absolutely. I mean, this offense, as you've been saying all day, they've been moving the ball effectively. There really hasn't been too much of an issue, at least on the ground. They had a couple miscues, and of course, a penalty set them back a little bit on their opening drive. But you know, I think they take being down 6 in this situation, getting the chance to take the lead, as you said before halftime.
And I'm very confident, and especially what we saw from the last series that O'Fallon had the ball, that they can move the ball on this Belleville East defense.
No, absolutely they can. Absolutely they can.
And I'm loving seeing quarterback Christian Curtis being able to really throw the ball a little bit more very well at it.
Junior kicker Trey Fernandez lining up to kick it deep. We've got Osuma and Smith back. Smith picks it up near his feet in front of the 20-yard line, makes a cut. Back up the middle, spinning, still on his feet across the 25-yard line. This is going to be brought down about the 28-yard line about. Nice return there from the sophomore wideout, Chris Smith. 8:18 mark to go in the half. It's going to be 1st and 10 for O'Fallon from the 27-yard line. A gain of just about 17 yards for Smith on that kick. I thought he could have let that go out of bounds, and they take the penalty to the 35, though.
I think so as well. But and you say that, and then what if he would have, okay, well, we're going to see if it goes out of bounds. It doesn't.
Sure.
And we're sitting here saying, well, why would he try to pick it up?
Well, it's always certainly the benefit of hindsight.
Definitely.
What's that great Mahatma Gandhi quote? Hindsight is always 20/20. Flores lined up in the backfield behind Curtis. 2 men at the bottom of the screen. It's Novi and Anthony as Flores is stood up. Gain of maybe a foot. It's going to be 2nd and maybe 9 yards here as we get to the 8-minute mark to go in the half. Looks to be 2nd and 10 upcoming.
And in previous possessions for O'Fallon, it's first down that has been huge for them. It seems as if they've gotten about 4 or 5 yards on the first down, and that's huge.
Look at where the Belleville East safeties are. They're all stacked up in the box right now. We've got Albritton in motion here as they get the snap in the shotgun, looking deep to Anthony. He's got him, and he's going to be thrown behind him. He can't make the catch. Number 15 in coverage for Belleville East. That's Aubrey Parker, the sophomore defensive back. Thought he probably had an interception going. Anthony may have overrun that ball just a little bit, trying to get around his coverage.
And it was good play by the defender there. I mean, the throw wasn't. I'm sure Anthony's like, oh well, I could have a 6th or whatever he's saying or thinking, but. It's good to see them try to go downfield with Ronald Anthony.
I agree. 7:38 to go. 39 coming for the Panthers. Big play. Steps back. 3-man drop. Has thrown it deep. Has a man. And it's Woods. Deontay Woods makes the man miss at the 30. He is gone. Panther touchdown. Deontay Woods. 7:25 to go in the half. And the Panthers have just tied it up.
What a job here by quarterback Christian Curtis. And look, there had to have been some blown coverage there as he was wide open. I mean, no one within 10 yards of him.
Deontay Woods, my goodness, 71 yards, and he was more open than a Walmart at midnight, wouldn't you say? Oh my goodness.
And then obviously what a good move and a cut there to ensure his 6 points. And here we say they can take the lead here with the converted extra point.
Absolutely, Brooke Hackney on to give the Panthers the lead, and he does. 14-13 O'Fallon. 7:25 to go in the half, and how about this Panther offense?
And you stated there is the safeties were moved up. Well, then on that play, the safeties were back, but I think we had 4 receivers, 3 receivers lined up with a tight end, and busted coverage is the only way to say it there. When someone is that wide open.
Well, and you notice Belleville East, their safeties were maybe 3 yards back of the line of scrimmage on that. Pretty much all 11 guys up in the box to stop the run on 3rd and 9. Really, really curious to see what the positioning was from that Belleville East defense. But again, Deontay Woods, the senior, one of the first times we've called his name on a big-time play this season. And just as you said at the beginning of the drive, O'Fallon finds himself with the lead here coming into the last part of this second quarter.
And I really do think that O'Fallon can move this ball against this Belleville East defense. And this game could potentially come down to which defense is going to figure it out first.
Or who has the ball last if neither defense is able to figure it out.
Exactly.
And certainly 14-13 in the second quarter doesn't really look like a shootout. But if you look at the missed opportunities on both sides, the interception in the end zone, the missed punt at the 40-yard line, on both sides of that, you have a team that really, this could have easily been a 21-20 game at this point. And then you're probably talking about 2 teams in the 40s at the end of the game. That's a shootout. So, missed opportunities really keeping this one from just being an absolute slugfest. Hackney again, a place kick that's going to bounce and stay in bounds. Nice Panther bounce. It's brought By number 24, Waller is going to be pushed out at the 29-yard line. Freddie Waller, the third, on a nice return there on a ball that almost went out of bounds.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen there, but head coach Brandon Joggers was lined up at about the 28-yard line, and I think he was standing there to show Brooks Hackney is where he wanted the ball placed. And what a bounce there Brooks Hackney got. I mean, if you're Belleville East, you're thinking that's going out of bounds without a doubt.
That seems to be the story of O'Fallon kicking tonight, aside from the two successful point afters. It's been the bounces. I mean, both punts, the pooch punt from Curtis and the punt there from, or the long punt there from Hackney that also made a good bounce for O'Fallon. You know, a couple bounces the other way, and Belleville East has had much better field position on a pair of drives where they maybe have started with a little bit more modest spot as the run up the middle is going to be stopped. Number 14, Austin Johnson, in on the stop. It's going to be Deon. Oh, pardon me, I had the wrong team there right there. It's going to be Dante Lee, the running back for the Lancers, picking up a gain of 4 yards on first down. 2nd and 6 from the 34. 2nd and 5 from the 34, from the 6:50 mark. 2 men in the backfield alongside Waller. There's going to be a flag thrown. Belleville East clapping. Looks like this may be against O'Fallon. It is lined up offsides where the Panthers. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty in favor of Belleville East, and that's going to just about move the chains, right? Are they going to stop him just short? It's going to be 2nd and inches. It's probably 2nd and 5 plus at the time of the snap. So 2nd and oh, they are moving the chains now. Sorry, late signal. Good call there, Colton.
Yeah, and I thought I was going with what you said. I thought it was going to be inches, but
looked to have been maybe 2nd and 5 plus, as I was trying to say, but guess not. They're going to give him the first down at the 6:40 mark. Ball sitting at about the 39-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Lancers. Waller, handoff up the middle to number 13 again, Dante Lee. Nice run up the middle. It's going to be a gain of just about 7 yards on first down. 2nd and 3 upcoming at the 6:20 mark.
And a really good play there by the safety, Andrew Novy, coming up and making a hit on a big back. And they have the back listed as, 200 pounds, and they have Novy listed as 175. But if you look, he doesn't look like he's 175 out there either.
You got to say, Dante Lee looks every part of 200 pounds.
He's a big boy.
He's got some big legs to get a lot of power going through the line, and he shows it off up the middle again. He's going to push forward for a first down to midfield. In on the tackle, number 62 in the blue and gold. That's Mason Baker, the sophomore linebacker. Nice job there. Kind of pull him down.
It looks like they moved to the running game a little bit more, especially on this possession. I mean, clearly working here.
Well, maybe trying to burn down a little bit of clock and probably take the advantage before getting the ball again after the half. And at the 5.5-minute mark, it's handed off again to Lee, who is going to be picked up this time for a gain of just about 2 yards. 2nd and 8 upcoming from the 5:20 mark. Nice job making the play on the Panther defense there. Number 43, Max Gibbs.
And also a very good job there by the linebacker, Evan Carney, on like I said earlier, setting the edge and forcing the running back to go inside where your linebackers and defensive linemen are.
Oh, absolutely. 5-minute mark here in the half. East driving. Ball at the Panther 48. Handoff up the middle to number 9 across the middle, and he's going to be brought down. Touchdown, saving tackle perhaps.
There's some laundry on the field.
Oh, absolutely. Yep, you're right. Austin Johnson made a nice, perhaps, touchdown saving tackle there, but number 9, Justin Sanders, the senior running back, had a Darren Sproulsian run up the middle. It looks like that's going to be called back, perhaps. Let's see what the call on the field was. I did miss it. It does look like this is going to go against Belleville East, so a big-time break for the Panthers with the clock ticking down in the first half.
And it seems like that's been the story for both teams a little bit. It looks as if they have some momentum, and then they have a penalty that sets them back, and then it seems as if they can't find their groove again.
It's just miscue after miscue on both sides, and Like I said, that's probably why this is not 21-20 and it's 14-13.
What a great game though, right? For homecoming night. What a
Absolutely.
great game here we have in the first half.
Definitely emotion from the guys in the blue and gold, but certainly Lancers want to beat their rivals at their own homecomings. Certainly for the seniors, maybe their last crack at the Panthers. One man in the backfield, Sanders again behind Waller. Waller goes back to pass, has some pressure there from Carney, can't get to it. Pickens is going to bring him down. Oh my goodness, there's going to be a flag.
I think they're going to call that there on Ronnie Anthony, and I don't think he really set him off his route.
That looks like that's going to be a tough call against the Panthers senior that we haven't seen too much on the defensive side of the ball.
That's a good point you make there. We haven't seen Ronald Anthony on the defense side.
I haven't
noticed it at all.
I haven't either this season. It is going to be a holding on the defense. It's going to go against number 13, Ronnie Anthony.
And that's a tough call. From what I saw.
It's a tough call. I certainly thought it was going to be a roughing the passer on number 89, Carlos Pickens, who got to Waller as the ball was getting thrown away, which certainly is clean, but it looked like he drove him into the ground well after the ball had left his hand. But as it is, it's going to be 2nd and 8. So, I mean, that's really tough. What should have been probably 3rd and 18 is 2nd and 8 from the Panther 48. The handoff, he's going to be stood up there as Sanders looks like a lot of momentum to go and maybe even break through that and get a first down to the outside. Is stopped on a huge hit there.
Ronald Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony hit.
It took him some time to get up from that hit as well.
Laying down the hit stick is the senior wideout turned defenseman.
And what I was going to say before that play, we talk about the miscues. You know, O'Fallon sort of had them pinned from from the original line of scrimmage.
There's going to be a holding penalty against Belleville East. I mean, a common theme in most of the games that we've done together this season. A lot of laundry being thrown out on the field.
And this right here is huge for O'Fallon with the clock ticking with 4:15 here to go in the half. It's a stop here and then potentially putting points up on the board again, as Belleville East will be receiving the ball to start off the second half would be huge.
Waller and Sanders in the backfield. Looks off to Waller. Thrown to Sanders in the option. He's to the middle of the field, makes a cut at the 50, and he's going to be brought down about the 37-yard line. First down for Belleville East. Devin Monahan slow to get up as he was in on that tackle, but a really, really well-drawn-up play there from the Belleville East sideline. Number 9, Justin Sanders.
And it seemed as if they had most of the O'Fallon defense thinking it was a wide receiver screen, as you saw a lot of the O'Fallon defense flock down here at the bottom of your screen.
Nice job there for the Lancers. 1st and 10 from the O'Fallon 38. Wallerson, Sanders out wide, has a man deep, just going to be out of his reach there for number 8, DeCarlos Johnson, the senior wide receiver. Thrown perhaps just a little behind him and to his right. Couldn't run under it properly until he got out of bounds. The pass was bobbled.
Then we have some more laundry on the field.
It looks like it. We're going to be waiting some official deliberation here. It's going to be a personal foul against the Panthers.
Roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer. So, man, what looked to have been a break for the Panthers turns into a gain of 15 yards for this Belleville East team, and now they're going to be getting the ball from the 23.
And unfortunately, I wasn't able to see it. I was focused on the pass. And speaking of the pass, that's a pretty good play call there from Belleville to send the running back in motion and pump fake the screen to the running back to really bring the corners in and find the man deep. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make the pass.
Shotgun this time. Waller has a man over the middle, and he just missed him. That was a touchdown. That was easily a touchdown from Waller to Waller. Again, the brotherly connection for Belleville East across the middle would have been good for a 23-yard touchdown. It looks like he just missed it. I don't know what happened there.
Right through his hands. Right through his hands.
Well, a welcome break of good fortune for the Panthers here. 2nd and 10 from the 23-yard line. 3:22 to go in the half. Panthers clinging to a 14-13 lead. They got it there after a really, really impressive touchdown for Deontay Woods, catch and run for 71 yards. Screen pass for Waller. It's dropped. It's not fumbled. It's dropped there just about the 25-yard line. Monahan down on the ground at the near side of the screen. Shaken up. Looks to be favoring just a little bit that right leg. And
he needs to come out.
absolutely.
Doesn't look good.
Number 34 coming in, Osmar Lopez, the junior linebacker. Monahan's going to get a little bit of attention. Again, his health is really a concern for the Panthers. They stack 3 wide at the top of the screen for Belleville East here. The lone receiver is number 7, Tyreek Curley, on the bottom of your screen. In the backfield alongside Waller is Dante Lee, the running back, in the middle of having a nice game. Shotgun to the left. All 4 receivers going downfield. Pass is going to be incomplete across the middle. Really, really nice play and coverage there from Austin Johnson. And number 12, Aiden Goss, the junior defensive back, who's had himself a nice evening. It's going to be 4th down and 10 from the 23.
And number 43, the senior linebacker, Max Gibbs, tremendous job there in zone coverage there as a linebacker. It seemed that he had an opportunity for an interception. If his head would have been turned around a little bit sooner, I think he could have connected on that.
Well, as it is, it's 4th and 10, and this is going to be a long kick attempt here. 40-yard attempt for number 98 in the white, Alex Maxime. This is a big kick for the Lancers. It's long enough, and it hits the inside of the post. It's good for a field goal, and the Lancers take the lead 16-14 here with 3:08 to go in the half. He made that by about, 3 inches?
And from up here, obviously, it's hard to tell, but I thought it had hit the left post and out possibly. But once again, we say special teams. It's been unreal, like the special teams play from both sides of the ball in this game so far, and potentially it could come down to that later in this game.
You have to play all 3 sides of the ball in football, and both teams for the most part have been doing a good job of it, save for the muffed punt back in the would you say that the second quarter? I don't remember exactly when in this quarter. I'll have to look back at my notes.
I believe it was the muffed punt was in the first quarter.
Okay.
First quarter.
So Smith and Osuma lining up to return this kick, number 71. Kicking for Belleville East, it's going to be Trey Fernandez, the junior kicker. He seems to be the kickoff guy, and Maxime for the extra points and for the field goal attempt seem to be how they've been lining up their special teams. And again, Osuma and Smith lined up deep to kick it. Neither team has been kicking it deep since the opening kicks for each side. Panthers have certainly put their playmakers there. This time it's going to be kicked deep. It's going to be to Smith. He's going to pick it up running at the 15. He's going to be across to the 25-yard line, bouncing around to the outside. He's going to get to the 30. He's going to get to the 35, and he's going to be pushed out about the 37-yard line. Nice return there from the sophomore wide receiver, Chris Smith Jr.
And a very nice return, and good blocking there for O'Fallon. It looks like we're just going to start around the 40-yard line, 41-yard line. A great starting field position for the Panthers they will start this series with 3:01 here on the clock. And we've talked all season about the running game from O'Fallon, and here you're going to see some runs, obviously, with 3 minutes. And, the passing game has been, I think it's the best that we've seen it all season.
It has, absolutely. It's efficient. It's been effective. Obviously, you got the long strike to Woods for 71 yards, and the nice lunging grab there for Albritton as it sends Smith in motion. They're going to hand off. The fumble is picked up by Belleville East, and he's gone. Number 11 in white is Dondi Fuller. Fumble recovery, touchdown, and what a turn of events here. With 2:50 to go in the half, the Lancers take a 22-14 lead pending the extra point.
I don't know. That's a blow for O'Fallon, as you can hear it. You can hear it here at the stadium. The crowd is.
By you can hear it, he means you can hear nothing at the stadium right now. Tough break for the Panthers. That handoff was blown up immediately. That ball was knocked right out of the hands of Chris Smith, probably even before he got it.
And what they were running there was the read option, where the quarterback he's going to read the defensive end, and he can either give it to the running back or keep it to himself. And somehow the defensive end was already in the backfield. So, I mean, Curtis.
Extra point is up and good. 23-24, Lancers lead by 9.
I think he was stuck and he was unsure of what he wanted to do. And with the defensive end right there, unfortunately, that can happen.
Indecision kills quarterbacks in football, and it just really bit the Panthers there. Man, that's just such a tough break for O'Fallon. They trailed by just 2 coming into that series. Look to get themselves in the field position at the very least to kick a field goal, maybe take the lead back for themselves before the break. And now they're going to be looking to try and chip into this lead so the Lancers can't really bury them at the beginning of the second half.
And this drive is especially huge for O'Fallon, as you just mentioned, that Belleville East will be receiving the ball and start off the second half.
So again, Osuma and Smith lined up deep to kick it. In front of them looks to be Flores, and can't tell if that's the wide receiver Ronnie Anthony or not. And again, it's going to be Fernandez lined up to kick it. Trey Fernandez, the junior for Belleville East. Somebody they like a lot to kick it deep, and really hasn't done a too good job tonight. Hasn't found the end zone on any of his kicks, but has really limited a long return from this Panthers that could really shift a lot of momentum, and that's momentum that the Panthers desperately need. Fernandez lined up to kick it from the 40, of course. Smith and Ozuma both standing near the 11-yard line. Kick is low. It's a line drive to Ozuma, who catches it and falls down. Oh, my. The 15-yard line, went to go catch it at his shoe tops and lost his balance in the process. It's going to be 1st and 10 O'Fallon from their own 15.
And unfortunately, we're not in the National Football League where he can get up and resume the running process. Wow, the 3:01 mark of the second half it's just been downhill.
Yeah, all of about 12 seconds has really changed what this game has looked like. And instead of the Panthers remaining competitive and maybe getting an edge before halftime, they're trying to stay in it. And miscues like that are really going to hurt this comeback effort. Flores in the backfield behind Curtis. He's got 2 men. It looks to be Anthony and Smith to the bottom of the screen. Hands it off to Flores, who's stopped by the arms of the tackler. It's going to be a gain of 1, if anything. He looked like he had some space in front of him, but a good tackle from behind. And that's going to set up 2nd and 8, the 2.5-minute mark here in the second quarter.
And it looks like Devin Monahan is up and ready to go, and he seems very fully energized and ready to get back on the field and help the Panthers get this win tonight.
He's trying to keep his guys motivated and in this game. 2:15 to go as the clock keeps ticking. Panthers taking their time. 10 seconds on the play clock. Albritton was in motion. Play is blown dead, it looks like. I'm curious as to what that was.
I believe it was against O'Fallon because I saw the Belleville East head coach there decline, make the signal as to if he would decline the penalty.
It's interesting to see.
It's head coach Eric Hawthorne there.
Call doesn't look like to be any effect. 2nd and 8 upcoming. Clock did stop at the 2:08 mark, so maybe the Panthers are fortunate in that regard. Albritton in motion back to the top of your screen. Curtis goes back. Under pressure, again has a man open. It's Smith who can't make the play. Nice coverage there from number 15, Aubrey Parker. Keeping Smith from being able to cleanly get to that ball would have easily been a first down, maybe more with the way that Smith was going. Again, you see the Panthers going for the deep passes, but Curtis just missing it just by a little bit. Doesn't seem to be on any of those deep routes unless he's wide open like Deontay Woods was.
And here you are, you're sitting down, you're sitting here with 3rd and 8 with 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go. The clock stopped.
8 yards to go. Suma up the middle is going to be swarmed and brought down about the 14-yard line.
Timeout call there by Belleville. Smart timeout.
They still have 2 left. It saved all of their timeouts to the late stages of the second quarter. Now the Panthers have to punt it from their own 17-yard line. The Lancers have a chance to really kind of pour it on here before halftime.
Yeah, and hopefully O'Fallon can get a nice roll here on the punt as they have all night. Because if Belleville East can somehow get on the scoreboard here again, and like we've said repeatedly, get the ball to start the second half, this could turn ugly. Unfortunately, very quickly for the Panthers.
A big stand upcoming for this Panther defense. Again, 1:55 to go. Belleville East timeout. They'll have 2 left. Both teams have burned a timeout in the half. It's 4th and 7 for the Panthers. Brooks Hackney out to attempt the punt. They're going to try and pin him deep. Going deep to receive it is Quantavious Alexander, the senior wide receiver who was certainly in the conversation for first team All-Southwestern Conference on the all-names team. I don't know how many guys I've seen play for him. He's a good athlete. Really spark for this Lancer offense. Line up at the 50 for the punt. Almost blocked. Hackney got it off high. Fair catch made at the 49 of O'Fallon. Good job there by Alexander to remain focused on it. Auburn was right on top of him as he made the play. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line of O'Fallon. 1:48 to go. A nice high kick, burned off some seconds to the clock. Lancers have the ball in Panther territory.
And this is huge for the O'Fallon defense, and a good for them. We see Devin Monahan back out there on the field.
Ryland Moore matched up with Alexander at the bottom of your screen. Looks like they've got him on single coverage with Novi, the lone safety over the top. Absolutely what they have going on here is Novi works in on Alexander now as Monahan, pardon me, not Monahan, that's number 43. That's Max Gibbs. The 3 looks like a 2 from the angle he was at. He's in on the tackle. It's going to be a gain of about 5 or 6 yards. 2nd and 4 upcoming with a minute and a half to go in the half. 2nd and 4 after the gain of 6. Ball on the Panther 43. Nobody in the backfield. Incoming was Gibbs, and the ball is just overthrown. Oh, boy. Keenan Waller had a man. Was rushed by Gibbs, the linebacker, again in on the play. He had Freddie Waller in the middle of the field, which could have been another Belleville East touchdown. So it's going to be 3rd down and 4 from the 43, 1:17 to go in the half.
And O'Fallon showing a lot of confidence there in their defensive backs in press coverage here, and an obvious passing situation. If one guy gets past the defender, that could be 6 written all over.
Waller under pressure there from Gibbs, who did a good job getting through the first line of blockers. Panthers bring the heat again. This time he's eaten up. Right away, Quantavious Alexander brought down by Andrew Novi in the backfield, and the Lancers are going to have to punt.
And are we going to see a timeout here? Yes. For O'Fallon. And an obvious timeout is Coach Joggers. He knows they can score against this Belleville East defense. Clearly, Belleville East would have ran down the play clock to about 3 and then snapped the ball.
Anytime you're dealing with a long snap and a high school punter, you got to probably give them as many opportunities as you can for them to mess something up with time. Maybe get a bad snap, or miss on a kick, and he shanks it short out of bounds. Give you a short field with a timeout to work with to maybe get some of those points back that you gave away toward the end of that second quarter.
And if you're O'Fallon here, you got to be very cautious to stay home and make sure they're not going to run a fake punt here, as Belleville East is still in a huddle. You always have to expect the unexpected.
And if you're Andrew Novi, you are going to see this punt all the way into your hands. You are going to be keeping your eye on it the whole time it's in the air, as you should, of course. He's going to make sure he gets 2 hands on it and pulls it into his body before he even starts looking upfield to try and make some moves. It's going to be Fernandez again in for the kick. Trey Fernandez in for the punt. He's going to line up. He's going to kick it deep over the head of Novi. Excellent kick. The bounces are going to take it into the Panther end zone for a touchback. Oh, boy. number 15 for the Lancers, Aubrey Parker, sprinting down the line to try to get to that ball before it got into the end zone, put the ball at the Panther 20. But it's a touchback, and the Panthers have the ball 80 yards to go with 1:03.
And although the punt went, unfortunately for Belleville East, went into the end zone, but it was still a good punt. I think he put as much leg into it as he needed to. But unfortunately for Belleville East, but then again, fortunately for O'Fallon, they have better starting field position here on the 20-yard line.
Yes, absolutely. 4 wide set for O'Fallon. You've got Smith and Anthony at the bottom of the screen. You've got Woods and Novi at the top. Nobody there for Smith as he's going to take himself in the quarterback keeper. It's going to be no gain, stopped at the 20-yard line. Clock has started running now inside of 52 seconds. It looks like the Panthers are probably content keeping this a 9-point game going into the half. 40 seconds to go now on the clock. Empty backfield again for Curtis as men all across the field as options under pressure. Flag thrown. Smith is just going to be out of range of that pass. A flag thrown on the field looks to probably be a holding against O'Fallon as Curtis was trying to buy himself some time from a really good Belleville East pass rush. Number 23 in the white, Tristan Harrington, the junior linebacker, was in the backfield immediately. And absolutely a holding call against O'Fallon is going to make this that much more a daunting task to get in the scoring position, and probably makes the decision easier for Coach Joggers here. Maybe just run the clock out and get to your locker room down only 9.
And clearly, there's going to have to be broken coverage here as Belleville East has four defensive backs deep, not letting anything get over the top of them.
Novi switches out for Osuma, likely for an extra blocker. Or pardon me, for Flores to get another blocker. Instead, they run it to the 15. The Lancers look content to let this run out. 3rd and 23. Maybe the Panthers want to run one more play before the half. It doesn't look to be the case as this clock is going to continue to tick. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, and 1. When we go to halftime, your score, Belleville East 23, O'Fallon 24. This is the O'Fallon Weekly on OTHS Today Sports Network. So, story of the half was, of course, the late turn of events there in the second quarter. Panthers held a 14-13 lead after the touchdown to Deontay Woods. And then the Lancers responded with a field goal from number 98, Alex Maxime, that just got inside the goalposts. And then a fumble recovery for the touchdown. So a difficult turn of events for the Panthers that had a 1-point lead in the second quarter and now trail by 9, and will need at least one more defensive stop before they can get back into this game.
And clearly the biggest play of the half, I think was the fumble, and that led to the Belleville East score near the end of the second quarter to wrap up the half and give them an extended lead of 23-14. And the bad thing about it is we've said it repeatedly, is that Belleville East is going to come out and have the ball in their hands to potentially score again.
That's where that little bit of misfortune, if you will, on the ball that popped out of Smith's hands after the handoff from Curtis. But overall, if you are this O'Fallon coaching staff, you look at that first half, and there's probably more positives than there are negatives. You see the continued success of the running game. Flores and Osuma continue to be effective options. Christian Curtis, inarguably looks more comfortable passing the ball. He's more comfortable in the pocket. He maybe could probably find some yards on the ground on some of those design passing plays when the defense is spread further downfield. But at this point in the half, you're really pointing to one or two plays that have really shifted the tide. You're looking at being up 14, 13, maybe more, to having some work to do in the second half. And this is certainly nothing that's insurmountable for this Panther attack.
No, and I agree with the coaching staff being pleased of their team in the first half, and they know a few plays go their way this half. We have a heck of a ball game.
Absolutely, and you saw last week what difference a halftime can make when you are talking about a game. The Panthers led 34-18 to Collinsville at halftime last week, and the final score was 34-31. So certainly a lot of time left in this game, and now we get to be treated to a performance from the O'Fallon Marching Panthers, who again are just coming off of their run at the 2017 Tiger Ambush Classic up in Edwardsville, where again the band took home the grand champion prize for highest overall score. They edged out Fort Zumwalt North, who was actually named the grand champion at the Metro East Marching Classic hosted here at O'Fallon a couple weeks ago. So a promising sign against some of the best bands in the area for O'Fallon here in the early season as they get ready for the bigger slate of shows that they have at places like Illinois State University, Edward Jones Dome, and then ultimately at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis for the national championships. Always a treat for the band. Doesn't look like they're going to be rolling out their tarp for the halftime performance in this one. Still working out the kinks and the quick setup and teardown that requires.
And then from the high school I came from, we had a good band program, but I think this band program might be 3 times the size of what we had. I mean, the halftime performance that they provide for the fans is phenomenal.
Absolutely. One of the best experiences you can have in the Metro East is getting to see a performance from this group live. And encourage you, if you're in the area for the weekend of the Bands of America St. Louis Super Regional, head on down to the Edward Jones Dome. You get to see O'Fallon in person. You'll get to see a lot of the other area bands like Fort Zumwalt North, like Collins, Belleville East, a lot of the best bands and groups in this area. There's a lot of talent on the field. These kids work really, really hard. When everyone's at home enjoying their summer vacations, they're out parading around the streets of the town and with these big, heavy instruments in 100-degree heat. So they've done an excellent job building this program over the past decade plus, even before that, with great directors like Ed Fulton and Vince Cosmano. Of course, now under the direction of the great Dr. Melissa Gustafson Hines. The show is titled The White Canvas. Features a lot of contemporary New Age composers. Very heavy visual emphasis, as you'll see out here on the field. Starts off with a really challenging choreographed visual performance before they even start playing. And I'll tell you, there are very few things like feeling and hearing the full sound of a really talented high school marching band, or marching band really of any type, be it college or drum corps or whatever floats your boat in that regard. This is one of the better bands to listen to. One of the performances we certainly look forward to every week when we get up here in the booth. For those of you Cardinal fans still interested in the postseason chase, the Cubs just took the lead over the Brewers, 4-3 in the 5th inning. That's big for the Redbird fans. Hope they can leapfrog the Brewers and the Rockies and sneak into the wild card. For those of you still holding out hope of winning the Central, maybe the Cubs being ahead doesn't make you too happy, but one of those teams has to win, so maybe get a wild card.
I think that's the only thing the Cardinals are going to get is a wild card.
still have a tough road. The Rockies have had a great season all year long. The Brewers have really surprised people. I think everyone kind of expected them to taper off, and they haven't. It's been just a tremendous chase so far. And I saw something the other day. We're still in line for something like a 7-way tie in the National League wild card race. Play out. We could play out scenarios for what would happen in that case for hours, but instead I think we'll just enjoy the band out on the field.
And as a Cardinals fan, usually towards the end of September, you have a feeling of what your team is and what they're going to be for the season. But I mean, even you as a Cubs fan, I think no one really knows the identity of the Cardinals still.
Yeah, it's difficult. You know, if you look at the roster that the Cardinals have, they're good players. They really are. None of their starting guys are someone that you say and you point to and say, hey, if you guys are starting this guy, you're in trouble. But they're lacking that big time bat in the middle of the order. They're lacking stability at first and third base. You know, just look within the division. You know, you have Jerko maybe and Carpenter at first base, or maybe you get Ramirez and Jerko or Carpenter Ramirez. It's just so many different options that you guys have, where you've got the Cubs who are playing Bryant and Rizzo at third and first every day. You've got the Rockies even who have Arenado and Blackman third and first every day. Goldschmidt and Lamb in Arizona. So the teams that are in the playoffs and are going to be competing for the pennant, competing for the World Series in October, have the corner infield set. And that's something the Cardinals are going to be looking to do, is kind of shore that up in the offseason. Maybe trade a couple of their promising outfield prospects, which they have a lot of, for somebody like an Eric Hosmer or a Josh Donaldson even. Somebody just to give you a presence. Great arrival there from the band here. Really impressive visual effects. Great job by the color guard and their gold flags.
Sammy, you were a part of the band, if I remember correctly.
You do remember correctly. I was in the band for 4 years, the 2009 through 2012 seasons. We were never this good, unfortunately, but we certainly like to think that we helped, kind of lay some of the foundation for this band to get to where they are today. We had big-time growing pains through the first couple of years that we were with the program, but we really started feeling it turn the corner about my junior year. Having been with this group for as long as I was and still maintaining a good relationship with the staff, this school really could not ask for a better team to run this organization than what they've got. There is, I can say assuredly, no better compilation of musical talent within 300 miles of here than you have here at O'Fallon Township High School. This school is so incredibly lucky to have the program that they have, to have the support for the program that they have from the community. Back in, it changed, a while ago, and I'm sure it's something they like back, but at one point O'Fallon had on its water tower home of the Marching Panthers. This is a community that has continually taken great pride in its high school band, and for good reason. They've been at the Rose Bowl, at the Orange Bowl, at the Fiesta Bowl, at the Macy's Parade. They've marched in Hawaii. They've marched at Disney World, at Disneyland, Chicago Bears games, St. Louis Rams games, St. Louis Cardinal games, St. Louis baseball Cardinal games. Just you name it in the area, they've been there.
What's the experience like there during a halftime performance?
Well, when you're out on the field, you're really not able to take in what's going on, and you get maybe a couple of moments during your 4 years in the band where you really kind of understand what's going on while you're out there, and that's generally when you get older. But when you're out there, there's so many things going on. You're thinking about where the beat is, where how to stay in time. You think, all right, where do I go next? What's the move? What's the move coming after that? You're looking for any visual cues to help you get to where you're at, help you know where you're at in the music. You're trying to breathe, which is very underrated. I mean, these kids are athletes out there. There's really no other way about it. I mean, you get anyone out here who tells me that these kids aren't athletes or athletic of any kind, I'd like to see you guys go out here and do this kind of a show. And I mean, this isn't easy music either for 15-year-olds. This is.
And the constant moving around and being able to play is what really amazes me the most. I mean, you got people moving around side to side on their knees, crossing their legs, and then you gotta know like where you're lined up in a formation. You know, you got to be able to move and not like run into other band members. I mean,
In 2010, at the national competitions that this band goes to, they compete against a band from the Tulsa area of Oklahoma, Broken Arrow High School in Oklahoma. It's one of the largest public high schools in the nation. I think they had a graduating class north of 1,500 this past year. It's just an absolutely enormous high school. They've got one of the elite band programs in the entire world. And a few years ago, a show which was kind of modeled off of The Wizard of Oz, where they had brass members playing while riding bicycles around the field. So it's that kind of talent that you see all across the board, and that's why I implore any of you listeners that are in the area or in an area of a band competition, go out, support those kids, see what it's all about. I promise you are going to be impressed. You're going to enjoy it. It's some of the most entertaining, one of the most entertaining ways you can spend a weekend afternoon or a weekend evening is just sitting down here and listening to what these kids have been working on the past few months. Certainly you're treated when O'Fallon, but you go to the BOA St. Louis show in October at the Edward Jones Dome. You see the Owasso High Schools or Broken Arrow High School from Oklahoma, Marian Catholic from Chicago, Avon Carmel, those schools from Indianapolis. So there's a tremendous amount of talent in this region that you get to see at these competitions. You're supporting music in the schools every time you go out. The money goes to programs like Music for All, which helps keep high school music programs afloat in these difficult economic climates. It's something I'm really passionate about, making sure that the attention remains on the kids in these schools that are really doing a craft that hasn't really seemed to be appreciated in recent years as it once was. So it's always great to support a program like that, and I really encourage all you guys to go out and check it out for yourselves and see what you have to think about it.
And another thing, the amount of equipment that they have been provided with and that they use, and it takes a heck of a band team to be able to set up quick and then take down quick for the field to come out, for the players to come back out onto the field and start warming up again. And as you see O'Fallon, they're already done. Yeah. They're already off the field.
Well, and that's part of the competition slate. You have timings. You have to be on the field by this point. You have to be all the way off the field. You have a 15-minute slate to set up, do your performance, and tear down at these shows. So they have to kind of be drilled in doing this quickly, but you have to give all of the credit in the world. I mean, obviously to the kids that they know what they're doing as well, but there's a great team of band parents who volunteer their time. They volunteer their weekends, their Wednesday evenings. They volunteer after school to set up props and build them for the performances. They're really what kind of help drive this engine of the band. There's no way you could do it without the support that they get from parents and just from members of the community that want to help out the band. If any of you guys are interested to help out, just contact the band office. I'm sure they'd be able to find something for you to do to help out these kids. Really is a great time. It's a great group of people to work with. Just nothing but good memories from my 4 years there, and even into the college band and in other facets of my life. The discipline and the hard work that you learn from being in a group like that really pays off.
As we look here, Brooks Hackney is the first one out onto the field for O'Fallon, and he just hit a 30-yard field goal. It looked like he had at least 10 more yards of traveling distance for the ball.
Hackney certainly has a leg on him. He's going to be kicking here from the 30 for a 40-yarder, and again, my goodness, a high towering kick right through the middle of the goalpost, and I think we see why Ian Wagner is not kicking. He is not suited up. He is in street pants with the jersey top. So we'll try to get word onto the health here of Ian Wagner, the promising freshman kicker for O'Fallon. The load has been on Brooks Hackney, who's, to his credit, has done a very good job in place of Ian Wagner. But you do kind of have to wonder maybe what kind of drove this move. Hopefully, Ian's healthy and feeling fine, and he'll be back out here soon.
Looks like Hackney is lining up for a 50-yard field goal here.
Well, it looked like Hackney had the leg for a 50-yard field goal on the last couple warm-up kicks he's made. He's not taking a long run in at all, and that is going to be good. My goodness, a long kick from 50 yards out. Brooks Hackney coming out in warm-ups and impressing. We got about 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go before the halftime clock hits 0. Any thoughts from this Panther first half that you kind of want to get into about what they can do, maybe cut into this Belleville East lead here in the second half?
Well, they did a lot of good things in the first half, especially the running game. But I think towards the end of the first half, it's Belleville East showed that they'll stack the box and they'll force quarterback Christian Curtis to stay in the pocket and make a good throw downfield. And in the second half, I look forward to O'Fallon sticking to what they've done most of the year and continuing to run the ball and then open up the passing lanes for junior quarterback Christian Curtis to be able to find some open receivers. As we saw in the first half, a lot of the passes that went for a good gain were broken coverage for the most part, but that doesn't take away from Curtis. He made good throws. The touchdown pass that he threw, he was throwing off of his back leg, and it was still a good ball. And he put it where it needed to be. And I get pretty anxious when he drops back to pass because I'm always curious to see his improvements, and he's definitely improved this season.
Those keys to the second half brought to you by Jack Schmidt Cadillac of O'Fallon. Jack Schmidt Cadillac located on Highway 50 by the Shell station. Yep. Jack Schmidt Cadillac, your number one place for luxury cars in O'Fallon. Again, thanks to Jack Schmidt Cadillac for your keys to the second half. We're about 2.5 minutes away from the resumption of play between O'Fallon and Belleville East. The score is 23-14. Lancers lead the Panthers. A pair of turnovers really bit O'Fallon. Andrew Novi muffed a punt, and then Chris Smith and Christian Curtis could not connect on a wide receiver handoff. Play was blown up big time by the Lancer defense. It was returned for a touchdown, and really, I mean, that's the difference in the game. Yeah, it's a 9-point lead, but if it's not the touchdown, you're looking at a 16-14 game. That's something that's nothing at halftime, and really 9 points isn't too bad either. It's just a couple scores, and this Panther defense has no margin of error at the beginning of the half.
It's good to go into halftime knowing that you're in the game and knowing that you have a clear chance to win. I mean, clearly the Panthers have shown that they can stack up with Belleville East without a doubt. It's just that's just how the sport is. One play can change the entire game, and that was the play near the end of the first half with the fumble recovery for a touchdown for Belleville East.
Here come the Panthers back on the field in the gold jerseys for the second half. Just over a minute to go before we resume play, and Hackney's still out there kicking high punts. Definitely working on how he's going to place it, working with freshman kicker Ian Wagner, who again did not dress. Hackney has taken the kicking load and just unleashed the beauty of a punt there, landing inside the 10-yard line, would bounce into the end zone. Of course, we're calling these punts as if there's players on the field, but impressive off the leg there from the junior Hackney.
And I think what fans have to look for in the coaching staff for O'Fallon is Ian Wagner being a very useful threat in the future, as he's only a freshman and learning from a great kicker in Brooks Hackney that we've seen so far this season.
As we were speaking about earlier, the great kicking pedigree that we've seen at O'Fallon under head coach Brandon Joggers, be it Austin Barnes or Tucker McCann, now Brooks Hackney, now presumably Ian Wagner in the coming seasons. Definitely somebody to keep your eyes on in the blue and gold. Two others, I mean, Chris Smith and Willow Suma, those are sophomores, and those are guys that have really emerged the past couple of weeks as serious playmakers for this offense. If you're head coach Brandon Joggers, you have got to like the idea of these guys having 2.5 more years in the blue and gold to really learn this offense and become impact players in the Southwestern Conference.
Oh, without a doubt. And if I was a betting man, I would say they're going to have a very, very, very high careers ahead of them, as they've clearly shown it this season. And I'm anxious to see what the workload will be here offensively for O'Fallon. As in the first half, I saw it as pretty evenly distributed between Flores and Will Osima there in the backfield for the Panthers. And then clearly, whenever Christian Curtis has an opportunity to run, he's gonna make sure of it. And he's gonna get positive yards.
Jacob Flores, the lone Panther rushing touchdown on the day. The other was a 71-yard touchdown reception by senior wide receiver Deontay Woods, who's been open a couple of times today. It's just a matter of getting him the ball in space, but he made a really nice move one-on-one in the open field to really get him the touchdown there. Give the Panthers a short-lived lead at 14-13, but certainly somebody that I'm sure Coach Brandon Joggers would like to get the ball at least a couple more times in the second half and see what he can do with it.
Definitely, he really showed us that he has playmaking ability down the field, and that's something that really hasn't been there that much for O'Fallon this year. We expect it from Ronnie Anthony, but of course, when you're Ronnie Anthony, you're going into every game, and their number one defensive back is going to be on him at all times.
And you're certainly rooting for guys like Deontay Woods and Chris Smith Jr. to emerge and really take a lot of that pressure off of you. Make the decision on who to cover who with a little bit more difficult for the opposing defensive coordinators. You know, Anthony has been held largely in check again tonight. I'm not sure he's got a reception in this one. Did have a costly defensive holding penalty go against him as well on one of his first shifts this season with the defensive unit. But again, he's a good athlete, so you can't really get on Coach Joggers about bringing him in. And that's something that I've always kind of wondered. You see these plays, pardon me, mostly in the NFL. And the one I can think of the most was a Hail Mary pass by Aaron Rodgers thrown in Detroit the end of the game for a touchdown that won the game. And I just kind of asked myself, why wasn't somebody like Calvin Johnson for Detroit lined up as a safety over the top? I mean, it's not like you're going to have a wide receiver for Green Bay who can beat Calvin Johnson to the ball. So I've always kind of wondered why on a play where you're certain that they're going to pass it deep, why you don't send out one of your bigger wide receivers, your more talented wide receivers out there, to at the very least, I mean, he doesn't have to catch it, but he just has to get to the ball before anybody else does.
He's going to get up. He's going to have a better chance, I should say, of getting up there before everyone else. And Calvin Johnson, before he retired, he was going to be one of the best NFL wide receivers in history.
I mean, he already is, absolutely. For my case, I mean, I'm not sure he played long enough, but I would put him in the Hall of Fame. Certainly one of the best wide receivers of his generation. I mean, obviously Ronnie Anthony isn't Calvin Johnson, but still, it's a similar idea. Get the size and the athleticism advantage that you don't really get from one of the shorter corners. It's just me. I'm not a football coach for a reason. It's just, thinking out loud and kind of trying to break down Anthony being with the defensive unit. We're getting ready. Hackney's kick to start off the second half of exciting Panther football action. One man deep for the Lancers. It's going to be another place kick. This one is again going to bounce inbounds, and it's going to be mishandled there by the Lancer receiver. It's number 24, Freddie Waller, who almost lost that kick as it bounced off his shins. Another kick there from Hackney that looked like it could have gone out of bounds if it had just been left unchecked. So I guess a break for O'Fallon that it at least hit a Lancer, so they're going to be pinned at the 26-yard line as opposed to the 35. 9 yards matter when you're down by 9 points. So with 11:58 to go in the third quarter, it's going to be first and 10 Belleville East from their own 26. Waller in the backfield alongside Dante Lee, the running back who's had himself a fine evening. The handoff goes to Lee across the middle, bounces out to his left. It's going to be brought down about the 34-yard line. Good run there from Lee. Powerful running back. Just keeps those legs moving. My goodness, is he some sort of athlete out there from the halfback spot.
Yeah, and for Andrew Novi's sake, and personally, whenever I was playing football in high school, I'm not the biggest guy. You got someone running at you like that, you think, well, I can't really take him up head on. I need to go down for the legs and chop him where I can. A good job there by Andrew Novi.
Second and 2 upcoming from the 4-yard line. Waller again hands it off to Lee. He's going to be eaten up. That looks to be number 75, Willie Robinson. First time we've called his name tonight. Good job by Robinson to stop the run on second down. That's going to be a 3rd down and short at the 11-minute mark. 3rd and 1 from the 35-yard line.
Panthers just entered in sophomore defensive lineman Ryan Ritchie. He's one of the more physical linemen that I'm starting to see on the field for the Panthers.
Good to see Ritchie back on the field. Was getting checked up by trainers. It's going to be Lee who's going to squeeze through for a 1st down. He's going to get it by a yard and a half. Good job there by Dante Lee to pick up the 1st down and move the chains for East. But yeah, Ritchie was out on the athletic trainer table earlier. He's coming off yet again. Looks to be just a positional switch.
Yeah, and when you say that, I think they bring him in for short down distances.
Big body, certainly tough to push off the block. Pickens back out there to the edge. Monahan and behind him is the middle linebackers. A jump. The fingers are being pointed toward the east line. Looks like a false start against the Lancers. Caused Kearney to jump off sides there. That's a big penalty here on 1st down. It's going to bring up 1st and 15 from the 33.
And you always see the pointing of the fingers.
Yeah.
On those plays every single time.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Well, it had to be one of you, and this time it was a Lancer, and it's 1st and 15. 10:20 to go in the quarter. Quick pass there to Waller, and he's going to be eaten up and brought down. Number 5, Andrew Novi. What a tackle in space from the senior defensive back. He hit Waller the 3rd immediately, and he got nothing forward there. Almost back to the original yard of scrimmage. Or, pardon me, almost back to the original yard of scrimmage there. It's going to be 2nd and 11, a gain of 4 on 1st down for the Lancers.
And nobody's showing he has he's good instinct, and he's good at reading plays and coming up and making the tackle. The senior safety.
Again, Waller and Smith in the backfield. Fake handoff. He's under pursuit. He's got a man. It's number 7 for the number 1 for the Lancers, Alexander. Touchdown, Belleville East, Quantavious Alexander. 63 yards for the touchdown, 29-14 Lancers at the 9:28 mark in the 3rd quarter. Oh my goodness, number 45, Evan Kearney, just about got to Keenan Waller there in the backfield. Waller on the move, found Alexander perfectly in stride. He broke a tackle and had us a touchdown. And it's a 15-point lead pending the extra point attempt from Maxime, number 98 in white.
And unfortunately for the Panthers, Carlos Pickens had very good pursuit there and pressure on the quarterback, but he was about an arm's length away from having the sack, and that's what it leads to right there.
Maxime sneaks the kick in just inside the right goalpost. And it's 30-14 with 9:28 to go. This is a long way from being over. The Panther offense needs to get the ball and bring this back to a 9-point game. Plenty of time to go. And again, you are watching the O'Fallon Weekly broadcast alongside the Panther Beat Broadcast Club here at O'Fallon Township High School, bringing you O'Fallon Panther football action. The homecoming game against the Belleville East Lancers here at the Panther Athletic Complex, campus of O'Fallon Township High School. Thank you for tuning in. We're just about 2.5 minutes underway here in the 2nd half. Lancers lead by 16. Kicking off from the 40 is Fernandez, deep to Osuma and Smith.
And points here for O'Fallon on this possession is crucial. I mean, you got to get points up on the board here and make a stop, obviously. For everyone tuning in thinking the exact same thing I am. But with the 9:28 here in the 3rd quarter, if you can't get points up on the board here, and then Belleville East will somehow make a drive and put more points up on the board, it can get ugly very, very quickly here for O'Fallon on homecoming night.
Hernandez's kick is another squib. This one's going to be picked up by Anthony about the 25-yard line. Brings it across the 30 to the 35, makes a move to the outside, and is brought down from behind. Number 8, DeCarlos Johnson, and number 64, Armand Anderson in there on the tackle on Anthony. He's going to be spotted about the 35-yard line. Nice return from the senior wide receiver. Always tough to field those squibbed kicks. With 9:22 to go, they've got decent field position. They've got Smith and Anthony lined up at the bottom of your screen. But
they've been lined up stacked quite a bit tonight, you've seen from O'Fallon.
Smith in motion. Handoff to Flores. Has got a seam up the middle. To the outside. To the 50, to the 40, to the 45, 30. The 35, 20 is going to be pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Nice run there from Jacob Flores to the outside. Biggest rushing play of the afternoon, of the evening, pardon me, for the Panthers.
A good play call there by O'Fallon to send Smith in motion away from where the run was headed. And some good blocking, especially by senior wide receiver Ronnie Anthony downfield.
Anthony couldn't quite push the block to give Flores enough room to get the touchdown, but a big gain for O'Fallon on first down, and they've got the ball at the 20-yard line for East. Hand off to Ozuma late. He's going to be eaten in the backfield. That read option was blown up real early. I think either option was going to be bad. Blown up for a loss, and Ozuma fought back, probably just a loss of 2 or 3 yards, maybe 2 yards. 2nd and 12 from the 22 upcoming as we get to the 8:50 mark in the third quarter.
And looking at the receivers from O'Fallon, I'm not sure about the speed difference in between like Smith, Anthony, and then Woods on the outside, but it looks like they try to keep Woods on the outside alone, but unfortunately, or not unfortunately here, but we see Anthony alone here with Smith in motion.
Curtis steps back. He's trying to find Smith. It's on target. Touchdown, Panthers. Chris Smith from 22 yards out. He's got touchdowns in consecutive weeks. And the Panthers are back within 10 pending this extra point. And you pointed it out. They had Smith in motion, single coverage for Anthony. They got the coverage mismatch on the bottom of the screen. And a big wheel route touchdown for wide receiver Chris Smith, and the Panthers are back in it.
And a good route there from Ronald Anthony to bring the corner towards the center of the field to try to open up the outside for Smith there. And what a pass there by quarterback Christian Curtis. Constantly seeing improvements from him as the season goes on.
The extra point is good. It's 21 O'Fallon, 30 Belleville East. It's back to 9, which was the halftime deficit. And now the Panther defense is going to go off for probably the biggest stop of the game to this point. They just scored, really moved the ball well. Long run there from Jacob Flores. Nice long pass to Chris Smith Jr. So it's back to being a 9-point game.
Yeah, and like you said, this could be one of the biggest possessions for O'Fallon on defense. It seems as if they haven't really been able to get a stop the last 2 or 3 possessions. If you go back to the end of the first half, and it looks like O'Fallon will line up and as you see on the screen here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but head coach Brandon Joggers here lined up at the 30-yard line again to give Brooks Hackney an idea of where to kick the ball. And if you're Belleville East, wouldn't you think you would have someone, more people over in that area, maybe one other person? And they have a lot of people lined up near the right side of the field, towards the back of their kick return here.
If I'm Belleville East, I'm trying to take as many guys away from that spot as possible to maybe allow for the bounce to go out of bounds, because he's really been flirting with fire, kicking it to that side. Any sort of a kick, and you're right. Good call again. It's muffed. It's going to be recovered by the Panthers at the 34-yard line. Oh, my. Big turn of events here for O'Fallon, and it's a turnover on the kickoff.
I think that's exactly what they wanted all night. And you said it, not have many people there to try to see if it would go out of bounds, but he tried to make the catch, and I think he was worried about all the O'Fallon defenders coming down the field and worried about the big hit.
And just like that, that's a risky run, and I didn't really have a chance to say it, is you take the guys out of that spot, maybe let the ball go out of bounds, and you take the penalty. But again, if you miss the kicker, it takes a weird bounce away from you. You have just flat out fewer bodies to jump on top of the ball and really secure it for your team. The Panthers have the ball at the Belleville East 35-yard line now, and an excellent opportunity to make this a one-score game. Smith in motion again. Curtis handoff to Flores up the middle. He goes around to his right just a little bit, picks up a gain of 4 yards. They're going to spot him at the 31-yard line. Nice run there from the junior running back, Jacob Flores. 2nd down and 6 upcoming as we get to the 8-minute mark in this third quarter.
And speaking about momentum, it's all in O'Fallon's hands right now. I mean, what a beautiful kick, and what a great job. I didn't see who was on the recovery there, but what a great job of getting downfield and being in the area and being there right when he needed to be.
2nd and 6 upcoming. Flores to the right of Curtis. Snap is high, but he brings it in. Looking deep to Anthony. He's got him in front. It's a touchdown! Ronnie Anthony, 31 yards. What a play there for the Panthers, and it is 27-30. Oh, my goodness.
What a job there by senior wide receiver Ronnie Anthony. That's what we've been looking for most of the season. When he's in one-on-one coverage, he's hard to guard as he goes up for the ball. He's the first one up there. What a job at getting to the highest point of the ball.
And finally seeing that size of Ronnie Anthony pay off in the passing attack. Brooks Hackney in to attempt the extra point. Andrew Novy on the hold to make this a 2-point game. Kick is up. Kick is good. It's 28-30. Panthers within 2 of the Lancers.
And just like that, we mentioned earlier, it only takes a couple plays in a game of football for something crazy to happen. And unbelievable being down 2 points. And then special teams again coming in clutch in this game for the Panthers. And I think we're going to see the same exact thing. I mean, why not, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's really been the strategy of this Panther special teams unit the whole game, really, is to keep the ball and the kick return away from Waller, away from Quantavious Alexander. And, you kick it to guys that maybe aren't so used to kicking a tumbling kicked ball. That's what happens. You get a turnover, you jump on the ball in great field position, and you pounce for the touchdown. So, again, you get Hackney kicking off from the Panther 40. Alexander and Waller the fourth. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, Waller the fourth lined up deep alongside Alexander there. They look to be kicking near the 30 again. Joggers standing there, and that's a really good call there, partner. Finding Joggers on the sideline is a good target. This is going to be high again. Fair caught at the 27-yard line, 28-yard line perhaps. And certainly not if you're going to risk any sort of hit knocking the ball out there. Just a 2-point game. The Lancers are going to get 1st and 10 from the 27 with 7:42 to go in the quarter.
I cannot believe this is a 2-point game right now. What a game for homecoming and these seniors who look to get this homecoming win. Even without the extra narrative in that regard, this is a great football game. It's a 2-point game midway through the third quarter. Really just an excellent rally so far for the Panthers. I don't know that they've scored this quickly in the season. A flag is out. Dante Lee brought down after a gain of about 3 yards. Willie Robinson, number 75, in on the tackle, but there is a flag. And we'll see what the call is. It was thrown into the pile. We're going to wait the official call. Looks like it's going against O'Fallon, a shot block. 10-yard penalty. 15-yard penalty, pardon me. Going against O'Fallon. That's a big-time call. At this point in the third quarter, gives the Lancers a first down on what was a short run from Dante Lee, one of the few short runs we've seen from him all game. Now from the 44, it's going to be 1st and 10. Waller lined up alongside Lee and number 2, Nolan Wellinghoff, the fullback. 3 wide, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Lines up in the offset shotgun. Fakes the handoff. Looking deep. Has a man underneath. Is underthrown. Is that Waller? No, pardon me. It's not Waller. That is number 8, DeCarlos Johnson. Man, that 8 looks like an 11 from all the way up here, the way that font is. But it's number 8, DeCarlos Johnson. Pass was underthrown. He was about the Panther 47-yard line when that ball hit about midfield at the 50. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 44 after the incompletion. And DeCarlos Johnson is their biggest threat as a wide receiver. He's got 4 touchdowns on the year, 22 receptions for about 272 yards.
Oh, he's eating up in the backfield. There is Lee, number 34 in the blue and gold. My goodness, Kevin Lockett, the senior defensive lineman, busts into the backfield, and it's a loss of 1 on 2nd down.
And here the Panthers in a good situation here to get the ball back into their hands and then take this lead.
3rd down and 12, pardon me here. 3rd down and, 3rd down and about 11 and a half. From the 42-yard line, clock ticking to the 6.5 minute. This is a big play for this Panther defense. Get the ball to the offense with a chance to take the lead. Throw across the middle is made and brought down at midfield, short of the 1st down. That looks like Waller the 4th, and it is. So Waller to Waller, it's good for about 6 yards, but it's going to be short of the 1st down, well short of the 1st down to midfield, and Belleville East is going to bring out Fernandez to punt it.
What a stand there by O'Fallon. Clearly have the momentum on their side of the field in this half. They went a good job here by Novi. The Panthers have the opportunity to drive down the field and score and take the lead here.
Absolutely. Fernandez's kick is going kind of helicoptering to the side. It's going to take a Belleville East bounce inside the 20, inside the 10. My goodness, what a roll. And it's going to roll out of bounds to the 6-yard line. My goodness, a 44-yard punt from Trey Fernandez. What a job there by the junior, pinning the Panthers deep in their own, in their own field.
And once again, the special teams play tonight is the best that I've seen all year from both sides. And I mean, obviously you have the muff punt from O'Fallon, and then the drop catch on the kickoff for Belleville East to set up O'Fallon to score right after that play and decrease Belleville East's lead to 2.
Flores behind Curtis in the shotgun. He's going to take the handoff up the middle. He's got some room to run. He's going to buy himself a little bit of space, but he fumbled the ball. The ball is out. It is Belleville East recovered. Oh, my goodness. Yet another costly fumble from Jacob Flores. And deep inside their own zone, Belleville East is going to get the ball. Oh, my. Flores, who had a nice gain up the middle, has it totally erased by losing a fumble in his 2nd straight week.
And when you have momentum like that, it's really tough on the offense and on the defense as well. After they just made a good stop.
First play from scrimmage after the defensive stop, and they've got to go right back out there, and their work cut out for them. A talented Lancer offense with not a whole lot of ground to go to get into the end zone. A stop here is huge. Handoff to Lee across the middle. He's going to be pushed back. Good job there by that Panther defense. They're going to get him right about the 10-yard line. It's going to be no gain, maybe a gain of 1 on the play. 2nd down and 9 upcoming. And this is a tough spot for Belleville East on offense because you don't really have any room to get the 1st down. No, it's not 2nd and goal, but you don't have, what are the odds that you're going to land at the 1-yard line and get yourself a fresh set of downs to get the touchdown? So this is really, they've probably got to treat this play call as it's a 1st and goal, 2nd and goal kind of set. And that might be a break for the Panthers. If they can hold them to a field goal, I mean, they're still certainly right in it. 4:50 to go. Waller hands it off. Fake handoff. He's got a man. He's got a touchdown. Number 8, DeCarlos Johnson. Touchdown, Lancers.
And DeCarlos Johnson there, that's his 5th touchdown on the season. The slant right there, I watched his release on the outside. Obviously, he's a red zone threat. And what a release there by DeCarlos Johnson to be wide open in the end zone for the touchdown.
Freed up space on the slant with the play fake, the play action fake to the running back there, Justin Sanders, and we get Maximon to attempt the extra point. It's up, it's good. Lancers lead by 9, 37-38 with 4:46 to go in the 3rd quarter. So if you're the Panthers, you're trying to get your offense back on the field after another turnover, which is really, I mean, to their credit, something they haven't had too much of an issue with, maybe a fumble here or there. And the fumble has certainly been the big part of their turnover problem. but they're not quite as plagued with turnovers as other teams around the conference, around the league, in the area. So you have to figure they're going to be taking care of the ball a little bit better. If they can get a score here, again, they're right back in it. It's still plenty of time in the game. Got over 16 minutes left of gameplay. You got Smith and Ozuma back deep to return this kick, but if the Lancers keep squibbing it, you're buying yourself 10, 15 yards every drive in starting field position. This strategy might still be conducive for the Panthers to get themselves back into this game.
And unfortunately for the Panthers, on both the muff punt and this fumble, the Lancers went on to score on both of those turnovers. Very, very costly turnovers for O'Fallon.
In addition to the fumble recovery, that was a touchdown back in the second quarter. So Panthers certainly giving points to the Lancers in this game, but it's certainly not as bad as it could be. The Panthers, even with a field goal, get themselves back within 6. Certainly plenty of time for them to make a play, and we've seen them do it. Maybe just need another big play on defense in their next sequence to really kind of, again, turn the tide in this game.
And being able to convert on situations when it's third down and 11, third down and 13 that we've seen so many times tonight that the Panthers allow the Lancers to get first downs like that, and then those are the situations where you need to come together as a unit on defense and get the for sure stop.
It's going to be Trey Fernandez kicking deep for the Lancers. As we've said, Fernandez handling the punts and the kickoffs, and Maxime handling the field goals and extra point attempts. And again, Smith, as it's been all night, returning the kicks. This one's actually going to be kicked deep. Osuma making the catch near the 10-yard line is going to bring it back. Makes the move across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Stood up by number 99 in white, Montre Stanley, the senior defensive end. A nice stop there on Will Osuma. Really stopped that where it was to Carlos Johnson. Making plays on offense, also making plays in kick coverage there, getting in on the tackle. So it's going to be 1st and 10 O'Fallon from their 27-yard line. That's a good job by Osuma. He got hit for the first time at the 20, so he picked up 7 extra yards after contact. Really nice job there.
his yards after contact has to be extremely high.
For both of these backs, really. I mean, even throwing away the fumble from Flores, he's had a nice night as well, getting the touchdown. I believe 10-yard score back in the first half. He gets the handoff right again into the middle. This is going to be brought down for a gain of maybe 1-yard line, if that.
And you got to think Ronnie Anthony is wanting that ball in his hands again after that touchdown score.
Well, and why not keep going to the senior? As long as he's open, making plays like that on balls in the air, absolutely keep going to it. 2nd and 9 up, 4:15 mark in the third. The bottom of your screen, the lone wide receiver there, you've got Smith and you've got Woods at the top. Albritton, the tight end, to the left of the line. Smith under pressure, got a little bit of time, makes a cut, makes another cut, stays on his feet, and is going to be brought down right before the 30-yard line, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, if anything. It's going to be 3rd down and about 9 to go from the 28-yard line.
And the only positive from that play is what I've been trying to talk about all night is quarterback Christian Curtis's ability to extend the play and try to make something happen there. Unfortunately, he couldn't there, but didn't take the loss.
3rd and 9 gets the snap. Has Anthony open on a curl route. They're going to go to him. He's not going to get much, just past the 30, maybe to the 31-yard line. It's going to be 4th down upcoming for the blue and gold. Ronnie Anthony again on the curl route on the outside. Really conservative play call and targeting there from Christian Curtis, and that's going to bring out Brooks Hackney and the Panther punting team.
And then not what you wanted offensively if you're O'Fallon in that situation, to not be able to move the ball down the field. And like we talked about earlier, this is another key possession where they need to get a stop on defense to allow their offense to get back in the end zone.
Maybe get a bounce to flip field position here. 4th and 7, punt coming here from Hackney. Little bobble there on the gather. It's not a good punt, and it's going to fall just about Oh, mercy. It's going to bounce all the way back to the O'Fallon 45. It bounced at about the O'Fallon 48.
And the coaching staff looks to be looking for a flag.
So does Brooks Hackney. Hackney got hit, and he seems frustrated, shaking his head, taking his helmet off. Panthers, Maxwell and Johnson lobbying with the officials to get a call. I didn't see it. My eyes had already been downfield with the kick. But Brooks is not somebody that's going to be lobbying for a call unless something happened. And he appears very frustrated still and confused as to why no flag was thrown on the play. Potentially a large turn of events here as the Lancers have the ball with great field position. 3 men in the backfield. It's going to be Wellinghoff alongside Lee, who's going to get the fake. The pass is underthrown but complete to number 8, to Carlos Johnson at the 9-yard line. First and goal upcoming for the Lancers. Big time play for Belleville East to start this drive. So great opening field position gets that much better.
So roughing the passer call on number 89, Carlos Pickens there. Not what you want, especially after the yardage that the Lancers just gained there.
From bad to worse for O'Fallon here at the end of the third quarter. 3:27 to go. It's going to be first and goal for the Lancers from the 4-yard line. The red zone has been kind to Belleville East so far tonight. Did have a turnover in the end zone. It was an interception, but that was from the 22-yard line, just outside the red zone. 3:25 to go. Waller has space up the middle, scampers for a touchdown, but there is a flag thrown out there. You've got some pretty frustrated looking Lancers on the field. You get the indication that this is going against Belleville East. It's a holding call. So wipe away the touchdown from Keenan Waller. What would have been a 4-yard score is going to be first and goal, but long. First and goal from the 14.
Now this gives the Panthers a better chance of stopping and maybe holding them to a field goal here.
Sure.
Instead of putting 6, 7, or 8 on the board if they were to try to go for 2 here.
Up 9, absolutely. Go for 2, make it a 17-point game. 16-point game is still a 2-score game if you count going for 2 twice, which is certainly possible. The Panthers have converted 2-point conversions so far this year. 3:21 to go in the quarter. It's going to be Waller. It's going to be Lee in the backfield. Lee to the left of him. He's got Tyreek curling to Carlos Johnson wide. And Waller running, but he's eaten up across the middle. Nice job by that Panther defensive front to kind of diagnose that early and keep that to a gain of about 3. It's going to be second and goal from the 11 upcoming here. Good job there by these Panther linemen.
And Waller does a great job of covering up the ball and then not leaving it out there for defenders to hit out and then force it to be on the ground.
2:50 to go in the quarter. Second and goal from the 12. Waller alongside Lee in the backfield. Has Waller the third in motion. Fakes the handoff. He's going to go across the middle. Just incomplete. Out of the reach of Quantavious Alexander. Diving through the air at the back of the end zone. Just about caught it on the recovery, but landed on the ball in the turf. It's an incomplete pass that's going to bring up third and goal from the 12. Panthers really caught a break there. That ball overthrown by at the absolute most 6 inches. Senior Quantavious Alexander almost made a spectacular diving touchdown catch that really could have started putting some space between these two in this game.
And the matchup I'm looking for here is DeCarlos Johnson versus sophomore Aeneas Riggs at the top of your screen.
Absolutely good call there. He's going to go for him. The pass is tipped there by Freddie Waller III, just overthrown. He had some space in front of him. I don't know that he would have gotten to the touchdown, but he certainly would have got some yards, and that's going to bring out this Belleville East kicking unit. It's going to be Maxime on.
What what a job there by the O'Fallon defense to make us. That's a huge stop here late in the third quarter.
Responded after the big play, made it 1st and goal. Big penalty helped them out as well. The kick is up. The kick is high enough. It's long enough. It is accurate enough. And the Lancers take a 12-point lead here with 2.5 minutes to go. In the third quarter, Belleville East 40, O'Fallon 28. The Panthers are going to get the ball back. Down just a pair of scores. And I mean, really, if you ask me right after the fumble, the touchdown, the subsequent touchdown for Belleville East, then the I don't want to say a muffed punt because that's not what it was, but a shanked punt from Hackney, and the ensuing big play, the first play from scrimmage there for the Lancers, you're looking at that probably, all right, well, the Panthers have their work cut out for them trying to get a few more points, a couple extra scores to even tie it. Now they're just 2 touchdowns away from leading even, just down 12. They even have the luxury to miss an extra point, as high school kickers tend to do from time to time. And again, Ozuma and Smith in the backfield yet again. Again, it's going to be Trey Fernandez kicking deep for the Lancers. 2.5 to go in the quarter. Just a 12-point game. Plenty of time for O'Fallon to get themselves back into the contest, but they need to start moving quickly. Lancers lined up. Fernandez checking. He's moving on the ball, kicking short. It's going to be brought in by number 13, Ronnie Anthony. He's going to be brought to about the 30-yard line, brought down by a team of tacklers. Number 64 for Belleville East, that's Mac Harris. And number 8 for the Lancers, DeCarlos Johnson, in on the tackle. So nice job there from Anthony to catch the short kickoff. Make sure he gets it to the 30-yard line. Panthers have 70 yards to go to find Pater and get themselves back in it.
And what a good person to have there in that position, other than Ronnie Anthony, to make that play and secure that play, unlike what we saw for Belleville East a little bit earlier in the half.
That's a tough catch, certainly. Didn't have his body behind it. All hands on the move. Nice job from the senior. You've got, looks to be Osuma in the backfield alongside Curtis, and they're going to give it to Anthony on the curl route. He makes a man miss. He's to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, to the 40 before he's pushed out of bounds. Nice job there by Ronnie Anthony. What he's been trying to do all season, make a guy miss with the ball in his hands, and he did just that. Oh, boy. Gain of 20 for the senior, and that flips the field pretty quickly. 1st and 10 from the Lancer 40.
And it seems as if both of these offenses are thriving tonight. I mean, don't get me wrong. The penalties have hurt both sides in both ways, but offensively, both teams look pretty good up to this point.
Osuma again in the backfield. He's going to take the handoff, go up the middle. He's got some space across the 30 to the 35 to the 20. He's going to be brought down just at the 10-yard line. Will Osuma. Another gain of 20 for the Panthers. 1st and goal from the 10, upcoming for the blue and gold. Nice job from the sophomore breakout sensation, Will Ozuma.
And just like that, was 2 plays there, and they're already in the red zone of Belleville East.
Certain level of explosivity that we haven't seen from this Panther offense, for consistent stretches this season. It's been big play after big play tonight. Curtis hands it off to Osuma again. He's going to gain maybe a yard. There's a flag thrown late. A flag thrown late. Tough to tell what it is, but certainly some jawing there between the 2 sides. We're going to wait to see what the call is. It's going to be a personal foul against the Lancers. Well, there's been a few of those going against O'Fallon tonight. That's the first one I've seen against Belleville East. So
costly turnover there for Belleville East, and a great opportunity here for O'Fallon to get up on the board.
What was second and goal from about the 9-yard line is going to be 1st and goal from it looks to be about the 4. So a much better situation for this Panther offense, and the Lancers keep shooting themselves in the foot. They get out to these 2-score leads and then turn around and will almost give a score back to O'Fallon, it seems.
And with Carlos Pickens in here, lined up. I think this is more of a power formation here.
It's exactly what that is. It's a power formation. They're going to hand it off to Osuma to the middle to the pile, and they are going to mark him just short, and I mean just short of the goal line. They're going to probably mark it 2nd and goal from the 2-inch mark. Oh boy. Osuma just about got that to the end zone. Tough not to spot that a touchdown, but it's going to be 2nd and very, very short for O'Fallon. They've got the strong back set up, Flores and Osuma in the backfield, and you called it Pickens out there. Again, the handoff to Osuma. He's going to punch it into the pile again, and they're going to mark him just short again. So on 2nd and goal, clock ticking inside of a minute here in the 3rd. Osuma just short of the touchdown that would make this a 6-point lead. 3rd down and goal from the half-yard line. Yeah, I mean, this is obvious 4th down conversion territory, wouldn't you say here?
Oh, without a doubt.
But especially with the distance that they've got to go. It's a timeout. Ooh, you probably don't like that if you're O'Fallon. Want to save every bit of those that you have in this kind of a ball game, but Panthers are going to stop the clock with 36.2 to go in the quarter. And I mean, mere inches away from making this a 6 or a 5-point game.
And if you're O'Fallon here, do you think about running a QB sneak here with Christian Curtis?
You know, it's funny, and maybe this is because I was raised by Bears fans who always talk about, you know, the 85 Super Bowl and that 84-85 team. I'm always a proponent for just giving it to one of your big guys, you know, giving it to Carlos Pickens here, maybe even as a fullback, and just letting him push through. It's going to take 2 or 3 guys at the very, very least to push somebody or keep somebody like that from falling forward on a rush. So if I'm joggers, I'm going unconventional, maybe even giving it to like Matt Albritton or one of your bigger, beefier guys to kind of just buy you those extra couple of inches that you need for the score. But it looks like they're going to stick with those Suma. But they could go the Tom Brady quarterback sneak and just snap it and immediately go over the pile. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to push it, and he's going to get a touchdown. Touchdown, Christian Curtis, a run of 1 yard, if that. It's 34-40 Belleville East after the touchdown run from the Panther junior quarterback. And just like that, the quarterback sneak, as you called it, brings the Panthers within 1 score.
And once again, the Panthers showing an extremely well done job on offense, scoring very quickly. I mean, it took them less than 10 plays to get on the board. And once again, it's up to the defense and taking advantage of opportunities to stop Belleville East.
Hackney on for the extra point try. It's up. It is good. And it's 35-40. Belleville East leads by 5. If they ever want to change the graphic here. It's 35-40. Belleville East leads by 5. And worth noting, that score happened in the 3rd quarter, so you still got 12 minutes, 32.6 seconds to find 5 points to tie the game. And I mean, I have a hard time seeing the Panthers scoring 5 points here, being a safety and a field goal, but certainly finding the points they need to grab the lead back. Big offensive drive there for the Panthers, but an even bigger defensive series coming here.
And when talking about 5 points, if you look back at the schedule between O'Fallon and Belleville East, in 2010, O'Fallon actually beat Belleville East by a score of 13-5 in that game. Overall, if we date back 10 years, O'Fallon currently has a lead over Belleville East with 6 wins, while Belleville East sits behind them with 4. You got a stretch there from 2009 to 2012, where O'Fallon won 4 games in a row, 4 years in a row. That was when you were in high school, correct?
The 4 years I was here at O'Fallon Township High School, a great stretch of talent for the Panthers. Hackney lines up another kick to about the 25-yard line. It's going to be Waller, Freddie Waller, the third, brought down just about the 33-yard line. Nice job there by coverage. But yeah, that 4-year stretch was when I was here at OTHS, the 2009 through 2012 seasons. You know, you had great Panthers like E.J. Johnson, Darius Mosley, Todd Porter, you know, guys that went on, played Division I ball. You know, Mosley had a tremendously successful 4-year career at the University of Illinois. Todd Porter, now a quarterback at Eastern Michigan, originally signed with Western Kentucky out of high school. Big stop here coming for the Panthers. 1st and 10 from the 33 of Belleville East. Handoff there to Lee. He's going to be gang tackled by Novi and others at about the, tough to tell where here, about the 37-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 upcoming here, and this play is going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter, it looks like, unless the Lancers hustle and get one more snap off here. They're not going to, and the Panthers are going to go to the 4th quarter down just 5, trailing 40-35. And that quarter of football brought to you by the O'Fallon Weekly. Get 1 year's worth of a digital subscription to the O'Fallon Weekly for the low price of just $12.99. The O'Fallon Weekly, getting you the most comprehensive O'Fallon and Shiloh news. The O'Fallon Weekly, where you get your O'Fallon and Shiloh news first.
And last year, if we look back at the matchup between O'Fallon and Belleville East, O'Fallon dominated Belleville East by a score of 70-28 last season, and then that was the historic game where Mason Hewitt rushed for 341 yards and 4 touchdowns on 25 carries. Heck of a game for the running back that is now at,
I believe he's at McKendree University. I'll have to double check that. Actually,
I think he might be at Truman State, actually.
That actually sounds more accurate. Mason Hewitt, of course, was the 2016-2017 O'Fallon Township High School Male Athlete of the Year.
Also a very heck of an athlete. He was a part of the wrestling
team, absolutely. And that was a big part of the reason why he was named Athlete of the Year. You know, star of the football team, star captain of the wrestling team, both very good programs here at O'Fallon.
Talking about how Will Asuma has done tonight, in the first game of the year, he had 1 carry against Hazelwood Central. Second week, 0 carries versus Normal West, and then against Belleville West, he had 11. And then he started really emerging last week against Collinsville, and tonight he has shown again that he is a force in the backfield.
2nd and 5 from the 37 coming here. Waller looking for the pass. He's going to get hit. The ball is out. The ball is out. It's going to be recovered by O'Fallon. Oh, my goodness. Was that ruled an incomplete pass? It could have been. Keenan Waller down hurt, and he is hurt bad on the field. They're going to call that a sack and a fumble recovery for O'Fallon, perhaps? Carlos Pickens, what a play. Absolutely Panther football. A little deliberation here. It could have been an incomplete pass. He was thrown as he was trying to throw the ball. It looks to be they're motioning. Oh, they're gonna give that ball to O'Fallon, but right now Keenan Waller is down. He was hit really hard by senior Carlos Pickens. Got in the backfield, ate him up. The Panthers do recover the fumble, and I feel a little bad getting excited there, seeing how badly Waller is hurt. You hope that young man is okay. Certainly a talented individual, and you hate seeing somebody get down with an injury. But this is a big turn of events for O'Fallon.
And especially for a team like Belleville East, where Waller leads them in rushing yards per game and passing yards per game coming into this one. And coming into this one, I wouldn't have thought that, as they have a pretty decent running game with Lee in the backfield.
Waller's able to get off the field under his own power. That's a good sign, but my goodness, Carlos Pickens showed up in a big way on that one. Forced fumble. It's going to be the Panther 1st and 10 from the Belleville East 38-yard line. And just what we were saying, Panthers needed a score and a big play on defense, and boy, did they get it.
Making the most of this opportunity is huge right now in the 4th quarter.
Absolutely. 11:53 to go in the game. Flores lined up to the left of Curtis in the backfield. He takes the handoff. He's going to be eaten up for no gain, maybe a loss of a half a yard. at the 38-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 10 as the clock continues to tick inside 11:40. No running room there for the running back Flores.
And a good job there by Flores to have both hands on the ball as he realized there wasn't going to be much there in the hole, and he decided to just play it safe and tuck the ball and go to the ground. Very smart move there by running back Jacob Flores.
Woods lined up as the lone receiver at the top of your screen. You've got Smith in the slot, Anthony outside, Flores to the left of Curtis. Curtis drops back, looking deep. He's got a man, perhaps he's got him! Deontay Woods! It's a touchdown! It's a touchdown! Panthers lead by 1! Oh my goodness! 41-40 O'Fallon. It's a 39-yard touchdown. It's Deontay Woods, and the Panthers lead 41-40.
What a ball, and I think they're going to go for 2 here as head coach Brennan Joggers is signaling out there to the offense.
Absolutely, you're up 1.
What a catch.
Yeah.
What an adjustment with the ball in the air to catch it like that.
That's
unbelievable.
Such a difficult angle for a wide receiver, for anybody trying to catch a ball. It's such a difficult play when it's going right over your shoulders. It's in baseball, the famous Willie Mays catch, just catching it, really just right behind your head. Oh, Deontay Woods, his 2nd touchdown of the game. How about that? They're going to go for 2. They hand it to Flores. He's got room to the outside. 2-point conversion is good. Panthers lead by 3.
What a job there by Flores to stay on his feet, and he knew where the opening was on the outside there.
Oh,
what a job.
Well drawn up play there on the O'Fallon sideline. 43-40. O'Fallon leads over Belleville East. Goodness gracious, gosh almighty, what a ball game this has been. 11:10 to go. Panthers lead by 3.
It's good to see the crowd up and on their feet here at homecoming night. What a game. You couldn't ask for anything better.
No, this is all the drama, all the excitement, everything that you could hope for in a Friday night lights matchup. Especially when you get 2 old rivals like O'Fallon and Belleville East going at it. This sideline is fired up. You see assistant coach Joe Speaks, a biology teacher here at OTHS, kind of barking at his guys, firing them up. And this is a charged up environment here at the Panther Athletic Complex once again. Brooks Hackney again to kick it, try to kick it deep. Or perhaps not. Joggers again to the 30-yard line. You called that back in the first half. Doesn't look like that's what they're aiming for, though. He's going to the far side, perhaps.
I think he's looking to land it around the 40-yard line here. Maybe the 35.
He could. Maybe squib it across the middle. Oh, no, he's going to, again, golf it to about the 30-yard line. Makes the cut. Does Waller the 4th. He's going to be brought down about the 46. So good. Oh, my goodness. He's squeaked ahead perhaps to the
laundry on the ground there again.
The 50. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely laundry. It's tough to tell where that play ended. They are going to spot the ball at the Belleville East 47-yard line. But as you said, a flag. I don't know where this is going to go. But this is a big penalty call here.
I think it's definitely a personal foul call. I'm just unsure of who it was on.
It is. It's tough to tell. A little bit of deliberation. Carlos Pickens looking on, probably trying to lobby his case. It looks like it's going to go against the Panthers.
It could look
perhaps.
for
No, it
offsetting.
is. It could offset. You're right, and that may have done it. No, they're walking it back against Belleville East. It's going against the Lancers. Oh my. Well, so conservative kicking again pays off for the Panthers. So what was really good field position, about the 47-yard line.
And that's the thing. I think Belleville East realized that if they have a guy running at full speed to catch the ball, there's potential for a very good gain, and they had it there. Unfortunately, it comes back with a personal foul call.
Change in quarterback here. It's going to be number 16, William Achi. Hands it off to Dante Lee. Keenan Waller did not return to the field after that last sequence. He took a big hit from Carlos Pickens, fumbled the ball, was lost, ended up a Panther touchdown. Eventually, he did not return to the field, and it is the sophomore quarterback, William Achi.
And if you're assistant coach for the defense here, Coach Dave Gann, you you gotta have guys in the box as you don't anticipate a pass play really.
No, not from a backup underclassman. Ooh, good push there from Lee. The pile keeps moving forward. They finally blow the whistle. He's going to be short of the first down by about 1.5 yards. They're going to spot him at the 40.5 of Belleville East. It's going to bring down third down and 1+ at the 10-minute mark here in the game. Big play for this Panther defense. Third down and 1+ from the 41. 9:53 mark to go. Hard count attempt from Achi. Can't get any Panthers to bite. Lee set it behind him. Wellinghoff, the fullback in front. It's an offset shotgun package. Achi again. Play clock at 3. Hands it off. Lee is going to be brought down short of the first down. He's going to be brought down, eaten up at about the 40-yard line. It's going to be Evan Carney, number 45, for the blue and gold, and that is a big stop on third down.
And how about the stop there by O'Fallon? As you see Devin Monahan on the sideline here, not even out on the field, cheering on his teammates. What a statement there by O'Fallon.
Probably the one draw against Monahan is maybe his lack of size. And probably wanted a little beefier package, hoping he's okay, but they can certainly be conservative. Certainly with his injury he suffered last week. He's not holding his helmet, so it doesn't look like he's ready to go back out right now. And Belleville East has to burn a timeout. 8:57 to go in the game. 4th and 2 from the Belleville East 40+. Panthers lead 43-40. Certainly goes without saying, but this is the biggest defensive play of the ball game for O'Fallon so far.
No, if they can get a stop here and be in great field position to put more points up on the board and try to make this a 2-score ball game here in the fourth quarter would be huge for O'Fallon.
Right now, the biggest focus is making sure this stays a 1-score ball game in favor of O'Fallon. They lead by 3.
Chris Smith dancing on the sideline. Good dance moves right there by Smith.
Punt coming for the Lancers. Watch for a fake. The punt is off. It's low. It's a line drive. It's not going to be caught. And it's going to bounce out of bounds near the 20-yard line. They're going to spot it. Oh, tough to tell where. Perhaps the 20.5. But what a big stop from the Panther defense. And now this O'Fallon rushing attack will get a chance to eat up hopefully a lot of yards, but probably even more so a lot of clock on this next drive.
Yeah, and definitely look forward to the Panthers running the ball here and using the power of Flores and Osuma as they've shown all game. And then let's not rule out the short passes to Ronnie Anthony and allowing him to make moves and get past defenders. And if you're the coach, I'm going to tell my players to try to stay in bounds as much as they can.
Absolutely. Go down on the field of play and keep that clock ticking down. It's going to be Osuma. Fake handoff. Curtis has some space across the middle. Nice gain on first down. Maybe a gain of 8 or 9 yards from the quarterback. Nice little option keeper to the quarterback. It's going to be spotted about the 29-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 2 with 8:30 to go. And that's exactly what you're looking for. If you're O'Fallon, rush up the middle for 8 yards. You will take that every time on first down. Osuma behind Curtis in the shotgun. This time the handoff goes to the sophomore. He's going to be brought down from behind at the 30, gain of 1, but he's going to be just short of the first down. 3rd and short upcoming for the blue and gold.
And I'm always curious to see how long that they let the play clock tick down to run some time off the board as around there. They snapped with about 13 seconds left on the play clock. You know, obviously you don't really need to do it, but I mean over time the
13 seconds add up, and they add up quickly. And I completely understand your point. Play clock at 10 when they snap it here. It's a fake. Curtis bouncing around. It looks like he has fallen forward enough for the first down, and they are going to give it to him. Big run there from the junior quarterback, Christian Curtis. And it's 1st and 10 from the 32.
And what a job there by Curtis to know where he needed to get to and know where the sticks are to keep them moving. Very nice job there for the Panthers to start off this series. Very, very important series.
About 3 plays going exactly how you needed those 3 plays to go. They're waiting for this clock to start ticking. The line gets set down on top of it, and there it goes, about the 7.5-minute mark. Flores behind Curtis in the backfield in the shotgun. It's a fake. Curtis does a nice job to make one man miss. That was number 41 in white. Dorian Martin Jr., he's a senior. He's going to be brought down for a loss of 2 on the play. So you never want to go backwards, but at the very least, you're going to keep that clock moving under 7 minutes. East seemed to know that run was going to be going to the outside, and it taking as long to develop as it did really gave the Lancers a big opportunity to make a stop. Pass coming here. Curtis makes a drop. He's going to be eaten up in the backfield. Oh, man, 3 Lancers in on the sack. Number 41 in white again, Dorian Martin Jr. with the sack. It's going to be 3rd and really, really long upcoming here. Ball at the 20-yard line. They need to get to the 43.
They just shot themselves in the foot there after they started off the series very, very well. Obvious passing situation here.
Definitely an obvious passing situation. He's got a man in the middle! It's Smith! He's going to be near the first down! That's a long pass, 23-yard gain to Chris Smith. It's going to come down to the spot, but I think he got it. That's a really conservative spot. It looks like they're going to mark him about a foot short. This offense lobbying to go for the throat here on 3rd down. They gave a first down to O'Fallon. 3rd down and 23. Christian Curtis finds Chris Smith across the middle for a Panther first down. Oh, boy.
That's one of the biggest plays so far in this game for O'Fallon offense.
Certainly one of the biggest plays in Christian Curtis's career. 1st and 10, handoff to Flores, eaten up in the backfield. No gain, maybe a loss of 1. Clock will tick under 6 minutes as we got 2nd and about 10. Coming here in the final decisive quarter of play. Panthers lead 43-40. The clock at 5:50. Panthers little unconventional here in the drive, but what a ball game so far. What a play on 3rd and 23 to convert. It's the 2nd week in a row here in the 4th quarter we've seen a team convert on 3rd and long. Last week, quarterback Chris Chai ran for about 25 yards on 4th and 14 to extend the game, ultimately throwing the game-sealing interception. Flores up the middle. He's got a first down. Nice run there from Jacob Flores. He's going to be brought down at the 45-yard line for Easton. There's a flag coming out. A flag down on the field. Ooh, we're going to have to see what it is. Ronnie Anthony trying to get his guys away from what's going on, but some laundry on the field. A big call-up coming here from the officials. Looks like it's going against Belleville East. It's a personal foul. It's against the Lancers, and that is a big, big, big 15-yard gain on a penalty for O'Fallon.
A very, very costly penalty for the Lancers, and on that last play there, you saw the play clock tick down to 2 before they officially snapped it. Just the play of Christian Curtis these past 2 weeks has been just totally flip-flop from what we saw early in the season. You can tell how he's so much more comfortable back there, and he's really starting to show that he's at the helm of the offense and becoming a leader as a junior.
Worth noting, junior kicker Brooks Hackney came out after the halftime kicking warm-up kicks from the 30-yard line, so what would be 40-yard kicks, making them easily. So this is certainly scoring range as Curtis bounces to the outside. What a block there! Oh my goodness, Deontay Woods, they're going to blow the flag. Oh my goodness. That's tough to tell. That looked like every bit of a clean block there from Deontay Woods on the outside. Absolutely lit up the Lancer defender. Curtis had a nice run. Oh, I don't know what you want Woods to do there. Curious to see what they call there. 3 flags down on the field. All came down about the same time. Personal foul against the Panthers. I wonder what that is, or I wonder who that's on, because if that's on Deontay Woods, that's terrible.
And for Deontay Woods, the 155-pound wide receiver, laying the lumber out there.
One of the biggest blocks I've ever seen in person. Now, granted, we're not on the field. We don't know where that hit took place at, but oh boy. What was 1st and 10 from the 30 is now 1st and 15 from the 40. So for 1st and 10 from the 29 is 1st and 24 from the 44. Trying to get back into scoring range. The handoff to Ozuma, who makes a cut up the middle, is going to be stopped short of even that line of scrimmage. Probably stopped at about the 45 and a half. 2nd down and 25 upcoming. The 4:30 mark. A lot of clock ticking off right here. This drive started. There was still over 7 minutes to go in the game. We're at the 4:20 mark. We see, of course, former Panther great Mason Hewitt walking there on the sideline, hoping for his team's first win at home this year. As you said it right, I did check it in. He is a running back now at the Truman State Bulldogs in Kirksville, Missouri. Curtis rolling to his right, dump pass off to Albritton, who's going to be brought down at about the 37-yard line. So a gain of about 9 yards on 2nd and 26. So that's going to bring up 4th and 18. 3rd and 18, pardon, that was on 2nd down. So 3rd and 18 from the 38.
And a good job there by Christian Curtis. He didn't have anything deep really, but he knew that he could hit Albritton there on a crossing route and keep the ball inbounds and the clock ticking. Great job there by Christian Curtis.
Always love it to see the tight ends get involved in the passing attack. You've got Smith, you've got Anthony at the bottom of the screen. Curtis looking wide. He's got Woods! Unbelievable! Deontay Woods having the game of his life. And he's brought down about the 6-yard line. 1st and goal for O'Fallon. Again, 3rd and 18 for O'Fallon. It's converted, and the Panthers at the 6. Oh, boy.
What I talked about earlier that O'Fallon was shooting themselves in the foot, giving Belleville East opportunities like that on 3rd down, and in the second half it's just totally flip-flopped here. What a job there by Woods. And I think at this point we could talk about our player of the game here.
Yeah, absolutely. First National Bank player of the game is going to be Deontay Woods, who is absolutely having the evening of his life. Keeping this Panther drive alive. Now, inside of 3 minutes, play clock at 7 when snapped. Curtis takes it himself. He bounces to the outside. Touchdown, Panthers! There's a flag in the end zone near where Ronnie Anthony was making a block.
Unfortunately, I don't know. He could.
It's tough to see. There is a flag. Belleville East seems to think it's against O'Fallon. If the play stands, the Panthers will have flipped the script and will take a 9-point lead pending the extra point with 2:51 in the game. But I agree, it does look like this is going against O'Fallon. It's a holding penalty against number 13, Ronnie Anthony, and now there's a flag thrown again. Another flag thrown out here. Oh, my. Well, talking about shooting themselves in the foot. It's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Panthers. So from 1st and 6, from a touchdown on 1st and 6, to what will likely be 1st and goal from, oh man, where are they going to put this one at? The 31 or the 21? They're going to mark it. They're going to mark it at the 25-yard line. Oh, what a turn of events!
Great opportunity to get in the end zone there. Just
Panthers could have put the game away essentially.
An uncalled for penalty there by Fallon. I'm not sure who it was, but
Anthony and Smith lined up at the bottom of the screen. You got Albert at the top. You got Woods at the top of the screen. Albert is sorry near the line at the top. You got Flores behind Curtis in the shotgun. Handoff to Flores, eaten up immediately. My goodness.
but
number 65 for Belleville East. Number 65, Mac Harris, the sophomore linebacker. Nice play.
Many viewers might not agree with the play call there, but I think it's a good call, especially on 1st down. you play it safe and you
Get at least a couple yards back in the mindset and keep the clock going.
Yeah, and you don't take the risk of throwing a pass and then taking a sack for a loss or an incompletion. But it looks like they have finally taken a timeout after about 25 seconds ran off the clock there.
Belleville East did just take their first timeout. Panthers, I mean, okay, so you got 2.5 minutes to go. The Lancers just have one timeout. Now, of course, with it having been 1st and 6, you're probably still hoping that they're going to find a way to punch it into the end zone. Even if they don't, they're at the 27-yard line. They're well within the range for Brooks Hackney to make a field goal to force Belleville East to get a touchdown on this next drive. It's not enticing because the 6-point lead obviously can still be usurped by the point after attempt. But at this point in the ball game, you've got 2:30 to go. You figure even if you only run the ball one time in this spot, you can run off either a timeout from Belleville East or a full 25 seconds, just about get this to 2 minutes and really put the pressure on the East offense to move the ball quickly and sideline to sideline.
And as we've seen from the kicking team of O'Fallon, kind of doing a pooch kick towards about the 30-yard line each time, I think we've seen him kick it deep. If we have a field goal made here and they have to kick off, I think they're going to kick it deep.
I would agree.
And make them go the distance to score it and get in the end zone.
I would agree completely. So after the timeout, 2nd and goal from the 27, Curtis rolling to his right. Has a little bit of space, has a pass. It's almost picked off. Oh, boy. He's looking there for Smith, and that was jumped perfectly there by number 7, Tyreek Curley, the senior defensive back for the Lancers. Just about a huge interception there. So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 27, 2:24 to go in the game. Panthers have a decision to make on their play call. Do they go for the touchdown and really go for the jugular and probably try and make this a 10-point game? Or do they run the ball, force Belleville East to either burn a timeout or just kill a whole bunch of clock?
I think they run the ball here.
I would do the same thing. We're going to see. Got Osuma in the backfield in the shotgun, lined up behind Curtis. It is to Osuma. He's going to get it to about the 24-yard line. And timeout called Belleville East. So that was the decision that you forced the Lancers to make. You either let the clock roll out and get inside of 2 minutes before the Panthers kick and add on 3 more points, hopefully for the blue and gold, or you force them to burn their final timeout and make them go for a game-tying, game-winning drive solely in the 2 minutes and whatever, probably 2 minutes and 10 seconds that you would probably have at the end of the kick attempt and the kick return. So it's really going to be interesting to see how this O'Fallon defense goes at the Lancers in this final drive that's going to be coming up for them, knowing that they're going to have to throw the ball.
And do you think they're having a discussion right now as a staff on weighing the options of kicking and going? I mean, you think the obvious decision is to kick?
I think the obvious decision here is to kick solely for the reason that you're forcing them. Oh my goodness, they're sending the Panthers out on 4th down and goal from the 24. I disagree with this call just because you would force Belleville East to get the touchdown. Now they could tie it with a field goal, or they could even get the touchdown and miss the extra point and still win the ball game. They've got Smith in motion on 4th and goal from the 24. Curtis goes back. He's got to look to the end zone. He's throwing it. It's underthrown. It's intercepted by the Lancers at the 1-yard line. Now, to that point, that's a really bad interception from Belleville East.
That's not a play you want there.
That's not a ball you want to catch. You want to drop that ball if you're the Lancers. So what would have been 1st and 10 Belleville East from the Belleville East 24, it's now 1st and 10 Lancers from their own 2-yard line. So just like what we saw against Collinsville last week, you got a 2-minute drill coming from the opposing team from about the 2-yard line. So they got 98 yards to go to tie or take the lead. So buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. Panthers 43, Lancers 40 in what has just been an absolute treat to watch.
I'm not sure how much I can take of this game, of games like this.
It's going to be run up the middle. Dante Lee brought down, buys himself a little bit of breathing room. Lancers going in the no huddle, had to run to buy themselves a couple of yards. It's going to be a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 from the 6. Sorry, 7, Tyreek Curley.
As the clock continues to click,
Yeah, he
Andrew
did not.
Novi made the tackle inbound. A great tackle there.
Good job there from Novi, the senior, knowing the importance of getting that brought down. Minute 40 to go, clock still going. They're going to set it up. They're going to set the clock up for the for the Lancers to get the snap. Achi again in the backfield, steps back, looking deep across the middle. It's going to be caught there. Number 1, Quantavious Alexander, a lunging catch at the 50 in tight coverage.
How about
play.
a pass from Achi there
Yeah.
to come in a game like this, in an atmosphere like this? Heck of a job there by Aki.
Absolutely, coming in place of the injured Keenan Waller, junior quarterback. It's going to be 1st and 10 from midfield. He's got Lee behind him. Steps back for the pass, looking across the middle. Oh my goodness, just over the hands of number 8, the Carlos Johnson. Austin Johnson snuck up behind that. He was a little out of position to make the catch on the bounce. He could have had another game-sealing interception right there. But as it is, it's 2nd and 10 from the 50. A minute 25 to go. Panthers lead by 3. They've got, oh boy, would you say about 22 yards to stop this Lancer attack before they could maybe get a field goal attempt in to tie the game.
And Novi and Johnson really need to be cautious here to not let anything get over the top of their heads.
Justin Sanders in the backfield instead of Dante Lee right now. He is going to be blocking. Achi's got room to run. He's going to make a move. He makes a man miss. Nice job there. Got number 23 in goal, Rylan Moore, to kind of freeze on a little bit of a deke right there. So with a minute 7 to go, Achi, 3rd down. About a minute to go gets us down. I'm sorry, 2nd and 1. Pass is completed. Gang tackled there about the 35, maybe 34-yard line. Freddie Waller the 4th.
The play of this quarterback right now, I mean, to come into a game like this, I mean, that asking a lot of him from the coaching staff of Belleville East.
56.6 seconds to go in the game. Clock should still be running as soon as they set it. They do. 1st and 10 from the Panther 33. He steps offside. That's a huge false start there. Number 8, the Carlos Johnson, jumps offside. It's a false start penalty against the Lancers. 1st and 15 from the 38 upcoming. Clock does stop though, so I guess it's a double-edged sword there. But I think if you're the Panthers, you take the 5 yards over the running clock.
And without a doubt, especially in the game we just had, it's 43-40, and they have an opportunity to kick a field goal to tie the game.
Achi in the backfield, still alongside Sanders. 52 to go in the game. Panthers lead 43-40. 1st and 15 from the 37. The clock is going because it was a false start. He's going to be brought down from behind. It's a sack. Oh my goodness. Number 34, Kevin Lockett again in the backfield. The sophomore having a big time game. It's a huge sack on 1st down. Oh man. Lancers really confused. Inside of 30 seconds, 27 seconds to go. Sanders still in the backfield alongside Achi. He's got under pressure again. They brought him down again at midfield. It's number 75, Willie Robinson. Oh my, what a stand from this Panther defense. And there's an injury on the field. But what an unbelievable 2 plays from this Panther pass rush.
And during this timeout, like you talked about earlier with Calvin Johnson, putting him deep, I think this is a scenario where the Panthers would look to put Ronnie Anthony back there in the secondary.
I agree, and look at that. Look, right as you say that, Ronnie Anthony walking alongside number 45 linebacker Evan Carney. It looks like he's going to be a safety over the top on these next 2 plays at least. Oh, you hate to see the injury to the Belleville East player. It's tough to tell who it is. We'll get you a name as we can. He's being tended to by both Belleville and O'Fallon medical staff just on the Belleville side of midfield. It's going to be 3rd and 25 from the Panther 49-yard line. 13 ball game.
And here is something O'Fallon has played this game in a lot of press coverage on the outside against the receivers for Belleville East, who have a lot of speed. And
number, I hate to interrupt you there, but number 75, Corey Cruz, the senior tackle for the Lancers, limping off the field with the help of his coaches. So it's good to see him on his feet. Hope he's feeling better soon. Doesn't look like we're going to see him again in this ball game. So here we go. 3rd down, 25 yards to go.
So it looks like we're going to see O'Fallon not in press coverage here. I like that play call.
Yeah,
I like
agree.
that play call.
Give him the underneath. Give him something short. Maybe make the tackle and end the game. Rolling clock, 9 seconds to go. This could be the last play of the game. Achi to the sideline, can't find a man. Misses his man. That would have been Freddie Waller III, who's had a good game already. Just thrown out of reach. So here we go. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. 4.8 seconds to go. 4th and 25 from the Panther 29. It's pay dirt or bust for the Belleville East Lancers. Panthers lead 43-40. 4th and 25. This is the ball game.
And if you're O'Fallon, you cannot let anything get over the top of your head here.
Absolutely. Anything underneath, nothing over the top. Achi's throw is long. He's looking for Johnson. It's no good, but the flag is thrown. There's a flag thrown on the play. Oh my goodness. A flag thrown. Looks to be pass interference, and on the game's final play, you get an untimed down. We're going to see what this call is. I don't know that I agree with it either way. It is pass interference against O'Fallon. Oh, boy. An untimed down from the 34-yard line.
And that was one thing I didn't mention there was to not it looked like the ball was going to be overthrown. I mean, credit Aeneas Riggs for being aggressive there. He was in good position, just too much contact, I think is what the refs saw there.
So here we go.
I see a lot of biting of the nails here from fans from O'Fallon.
Biting on the nails on fans on both sides here. Absolutely compelling high school football action here, pardon me. Achi in the backfield alongside, or in front of, Justin Sanders, number 9 in white. They got one more play. It's an untimed down. Pickens is there! Pickens makes the play! Panthers hold on! The ball is down! It's a fumble and the game is over! The Panthers hold on homecoming and win 43-40 over the Belleville East Lancers. What a win for the blue and gold.
And the Belleville East coaches are very unhappy there. I think they were looking for a face mask call there late. I couldn't tell from up here in the box. What a game.
But wow, what a win for this O'Fallon Panther team. They moved to 2-3 on the year, 2-1 in the Southwestern Conference, and dropped the Belleville East Lancers to 1-4, 1-2 in Southwestern Conference play. Certainly, obviously 1 of 2 is easy to make this statement, but the biggest win of the year for the Panthers, their first win at home, it comes against their rivals, and what a scene here at midfield. Always great to see the handshake among these competitors who put on just an absolute beauty of a game for 4 quarters here at the Panther Athletic Complex.
And nothing better than winning the homecoming football game here. Just the night before the dance, the homecoming dance for the entire O'Fallon high school.
So another white knuckle, edge of your seat final drive stand by this Panther defense. Last week it was Austin Johnson. This week it's Carlos Pickens stepping up when they need it the most. And the Panthers pull off an absolutely thrilling 43-40 win over the rival Belleville East Lancers. Panthers get their second win of the year and look to 500 when they travel to Edwardsville next week to take on the Tigers. Great game from this Panther offense. We were talking about it. the beginning of the game, the improvement that they've shown over the past couple of weeks, scoring 34 points last week, 43 points this week. Granted, these aren't the two best defenses that they've seen this season. Really obvious improvement just from an execution standpoint. Yeah, they shot themselves in the foot with a couple turnovers, a couple penalties, but really just a well done game by this offense. They scored when they needed to the most, and the defense stepped up at the right moment.
And then once again, Christian Curtis, what a heck of a game for him. Christian Perez last season. What a job tonight by Christian Curtis to make plays when they needed them and be very, very smart with the ball and realize when to make the pass to especially to stay in bounds late in this fourth quarter. Tremendous job all around from O'Fallon tonight, defensively and offensively, but especially special teams tonight.